Oil spill by BP has left eyeballs all over the sea. So don't go swimming down in the south unless you want tar balls in your mouth. Balls in your mouth, balls in your mouth. Don't swim in the ocean, you'll get balls in your mouth. Balls in your mouth, balls in your mouth. Don't swim in the ocean, you'll get balls in your mouth. Balls in your mouth, balls in your mouth. Don't swim in the ocean, you'll get balls in your mouth. Balls in your mouth, balls in your mouth. Swim in the ocean, you'll have balls in your mouth. Go ahead! Balls in your mouth, balls in your mouth. Don't swim in the ocean, you'll get balls in your mouth. Balls in your mouth, balls in your mouth. Don't swim in the ocean, you'll get balls in your mouth. Balls in your mouth, balls in your mouth. Don't swim in the ocean, you'll get balls in your mouth. Balls in your mouth, balls in your mouth. Don't swim in the ocean, you'll get balls in your mouth. Balls in your mouth, balls in your mouth. Don't swim in the ocean, you'll get balls in your mouth. Balls in your mouth, balls in your mouth. Don't swim in the ocean, you'll get balls in your This food's delicious. Yes, yum. Oh dear, it seems Professor Itchy is all of a sudden. No, Scratchy's itching. That bush you went in must have been poison oak. Poison oak? Oh, do let's sing about it. About my poison oak? Yes, yes. I think she's crazy. Yeah. Poison oak, makes you itch if you catch it. Is that a point to this cartoon? I don't know, but we're still getting paid. Skin turns red, blisters spread, spread the more that you scratch it. Chafing and stinging, the itch gets worse. Itch gets worse, it's burning. Sing! Poison oak, poison oak, for days to come you'll be hurt. Oh my, wasn't that fun? I'm scared.
You know, in our business, they say you never know how good someone is until you get in the ring with them. And I can tell you, over the past 6 weeks, in Extreme Rules last night, I can tell you honestly, Roman Reigns never been the man he says he is. Hey, I'm telling you, one of the better men I've ever been in the ring with. Now I say that, and I'm telling you this, he's still phenomenal. I'll tell you that. Because if it wasn't, I don't know, for the Usos, Gallows, and Anderson, I had him beat in the middle of the ring last night. And if it wasn't for those guys, you'd be looking at the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. But that didn't happen. And I don't let the past, it's over, but I had an opportunity tonight. I have an opportunity against Kevin Owens to beat him on my own and go on to Money in the Bank. back a second. Take that back a second. If it weren't for the Usos and us, if it weren't for us, you'd be the champion. If it weren't for us, you make it sound like you didn't want us out there fighting with you last night. I've said this from the beginning. From the beginning, that I want to do this on my own. Boys, this ain't Japan. Things have changed. He's right. You're right. Because if this was Japan, you'd have bought us around the drinks and Rapunzel for having your back last night. Things have changed. Things have changed. AJ, you changed. Maybe things got lost in translation. I don't know. But I didn't expect you guys to come here to the WWE so you can watch my back and, drop anybody guy who has a problem with that. That's not why I brought you here. I want us to build a legend. Hold on. If we didn't drop every guy you've ever had a problem with, there's a lot of bar fights you never would have walked out of. Hell, if we didn't drop everyone you've had a problem with here, I don't think you ever would have made it to Extreme Rules. Hold on. Listen, I see what's happening here. Listen to me. Don't let our professional lives break up this friendship. Don't let that happen. All I'm saying is professionally, we need to separate. That's all I'm saying. Listen, you guys do you alone. I do me alone. But for right now, we're done. Listen to me. I don't care what they think. Listen to me. But nothing and no one can separate us from being brothers. How dare you talk to us like that and then try to stand here and call us brothers? Brothers? We're not brothers anymore. We're not friends anymore. Well, if that's the way it is, then I guess the three of us don't need to be in the ring together. In fact, as of right now, this is my ring.
What's up? BOOCHCAST fans, listeners across the internet radio waves. This is Vinny Bucci, aka the Booch, and this is that time again. Once again, yet again for the BOOCHCAST. What's up, everybody? It is Tuesday, May the 31st, 2016. It is high noon, and we are back with another fun-filled, action-packed episode of the BOOCHCAST. Big, epic, raw recap coming your way today on the show. Before we get to that, are a couple things we need to discuss. One thing in particular that I need to bring up mostly because it concerns tomorrow's show and the possibility of if there is even going to be one. Because One thing that I've kind of been keeping a secret for a while now, but I'm at the point where I can talk about it, is a while back, I got myself a jury summons in the mail. That's right. I got summoned for jury duty, which unfortunately is the price that I have to pay for registering to vote, because my registration expired because I didn't vote. And here's the thing. I registered to vote in 2008 because I was 21 years old. It was a year where I could finally vote, and my mother was jumping up and down, all excited, wanting the whole family to vote, or at least wanting me to vote, because my mom still lived under the delusion of your vote counts, which up until this election, I've never believed in. I was never one of those people that felt your vote counted towards anything. I never saw anything really worth voting for. Plus, the guy I voted for in 2008 didn't win. So after that, and it was the longest I ever had to wait, and it was one of the longest line waits ever, because the voter turnout for 2008 was one of the biggest voter turnouts in American history for obvious reasons I'm not going to get into, but you all know why. Anyway, then, of course, 2012 rolls around. A, I had my wisdom teeth out during that time, and B, I kind of knew in the back of my mind Obama was getting reelected anyway, so Mitt Romney never really had a chance, so I decided not to vote. I opted out. And then, of course, this year, when I saw Donald running, and when I saw Trump running, and the fact that he was doing very well in the polls, and he seemed to be in it to win it, and he does seem to be in it to win it. I say seemed as if it's a past tense. He does seem to be in it to win it. And I've mentioned on this show before that I support Donald Trump. I decided to register to vote this year. And, of course, I casted my vote for him at the Georgia primaries. And from the looks of things, he seems to be getting the Republican nomination. And we'll see what happens as the election progresses. I'm not going to get into that today. I'm just saying that when you then I realized, I reminded why I don't like to vote, and here it was, the jury summons I got in the mail. So basically, I'm on standby. Now, if you've never gotten a jury summons before and you don't know what all this legal mumbo jumbo means, basically, here's what it means. You get a jury summons in the mail. If it says standby, you have to call the night before to find out if you're going to be on jury duty. So I have to wait till sometime after 5 o'clock today. I am going to call. So I'll probably do about 5:10, 5:15, give a little bit of a grace period. And then I'm going to call. Basically, and they're going to tell me whether or not I have to report for jury duty or if I'm dismissed. And I've only been called in for jury duty one time in my whole life. And I'll get into that in a minute. But the thing is, basically, if I get excused from jury duty, if I don't have to report, then tomorrow there will be a BOOCHCAST episode. And on that episode, we're going to have a good chat with, we're going to have an appearance by Derek Shapiro and a possible appearance by his friend James Buddy Love Herring. They're going to come on the show to talk about the movie Walking, which comes out tomorrow on movieinternetchannel.yolasite.com and on the Movie Internet Channel YouTube channel, which features a great cast of characters. And Desmond's song New Hometown is the theme song to that movie. So if we have a show tomorrow, Derek and James Buddy Love Herring will make an appearance. And then, of course, I will do a recap of TNA Impact Wrestling, which airs tonight at 9 p.m. on Pop TV. So I will be doing that's what's going to happen tomorrow if there is a show. Now, if I get summoned for jury duty, if I do have to go to the courthouse for jury duty tomorrow, then there will be no BOOCHCAST. I will not have a show. Instead, the Wednesday show will be scheduled for Thursday. That's what I will do. I will schedule that for Thursday's show. Thursday will be Derek Shapiro and James Buddy Love Herring and the recap of TNA. And then on Friday, I will include Lucha Underground and NXT as the recaps, in addition to the Volume 3 of Animaniacs talk and this week's episode of Daytime Fighting League, which will air on Thursday at 5 p.m. on AdultSwim.com. And on Friday, I'll recap it. So that's what's going to happen if there is no BOOCHCAST show tomorrow. I'll just push everything over. And then I'll have a full show. So that's what I will do if that is the case. And I will structure that as best I can. That's kind of what I'll do in that regard. So that's what's going to happen today. That's what's going to happen with the BOOCHCAST, depending on the jury duty incident, which I will find out tonight, late tonight, if I'm doing a show or not. And I will post something or let you guys know. I'll put a best of on to fill up the time. Because unfortunately, my co-hosts are not available to do a fill-in show for me. If they were, I would have them do it. I would just tell them, like, hey, I would tell Elvis or Desmond, hey, watch TNA tonight, gather audio clips if you need to, and, go do the show. And I would have them do the show. And I would have them interview Derek Shapiro and James Buddy Love Herring and have a field day with that. Ask whatever questions they want to ask. And that's what would happen. But unfortunately, Desmond works the rest of the week. Elvis is working the rest of the week. I'm kind of by myself on Wednesdays. So there will be no show tomorrow if I get summoned for jury duty. And like I said, last time I got summoned for jury duty was basically one of the weirdest moments of my life. I actually did get called to sit in on a jury. I did one of those things where they bring you in, they sit you down in the seats where everybody else sits, and then they bring you up to the jury section, and then all you got to do is answer the questions when you're up there. Basically, they ask you a bunch of questions, and basically what you do is you raise your number in the air, like you raise your hand if any of the questions they have apply to you. So, for example, we had a guy come in who was charged with possession of marijuana and possession of a firearm. And basically, they would ask you questions. So some of the questions they ask is, have you ever had a bad experience with law enforcement? So I raised my hand because I had a bad experience with the MARTA police where I was wrongfully accused of evading payment. They handcuffed me, put me in a cell with a sink and a toilet that I couldn't even use because my hands were still cuffed behind my back, which I found out was illegal. And if I had known that, I could have sued them. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. So I was about my mistreatment by MARTA police. But the best part is when I went to court, I got the case thrown out and was found not guilty. So that was a good thing there. So I had a bad experience with law enforcement. I raised my hand. And then they said, do you believe marijuana should be legal? I shot my hand up in the air because I am definitely one of those people that believes marijuana should be legal. And I hate the fact that there are actually people out there that want to stop this from happening that aren't in the government. Like the government's scumbags already, but at least I understand where they're coming from. But if you're an American citizen and you're trying to stop the legalization of marijuana, suck a bag of dicks. Seriously, just suck a bag of dicks. You don't want to smoke pot? Fine. But to prevent other people from smoking it, jog on. Hate those fucking people. But anyway, and then they asked, do you have any bias as a client that would affect you to be fair and impartial? I was the only one that raised my hand. And they were concerned. So, of course, I get asked the question. Now, of course, when they say bias, they're probably wondering, am I going to be racist towards the client? And the answer is no. His skin color had nothing to do with that. Here's why I was biased towards the defendant in question. Because I was sitting right across from this guy. I mean, from where my seat was, from where his desk was, we were eye level. And I was looking at his face. And he looked way too calm. He was kind of mean mugging me, kind of just staring me down, looking at me like as if he's trying to intimidate me into saying he's not guilty. I didn't like it. That was too sketchy for me. Because this is how I feel. I believe if somebody is on trial for a serious crime that could put you in jail, regardless of whether you are guilty or innocent, if I don't see a little bit of panic in your eyes, that tells me you've been to jail before. That tells me that you are about this life. And that tells me there's a strong possibility your ass is guilty. And if you're trying to intimidate me, if I'm looking at you and 5 seconds later I'm sitting in a puddle of my own urine, your ass is guilty. 9 ways to Sunday. All right? There's no way you can be that calm and not guilty. I mean, because I've been, like example, when I went to trial for that MARTA thing, some people were trying to tell me, dude, it's a MARTA thing. It's just a fine. It's not a big deal. I'm like, motherfucker, I was handcuffed and put in a holding cell. I had never been, prior to that time, I had never been arrested for anything in my life. I have never been arrested since then for anything in my life. In fact, the only reason I don't mention it on job interviews is because the record got expunged. It doesn't exist anymore. The only reason you guys know about it is because I'm comfortable, because I'm talking about it now. But holy shit, that was the scariest fucking moment of my life. I was terrified. You would have thought I was going to, you would have thought I'd been charged with double murder. That's how fucking nervous I was. I even brought my mom to court with me because I didn't know what the hell to do because I'd never been to court. I'm not saying I haven't made mistakes or done dumb shit in my life, but I haven't done anything stupid enough to get arrested. It was the scariest shit I'd ever been through. I need, and that's the thing. If I see someone scared and nervous, I can feel, I can have a little bit of empathy for you. Now, you might be scared because your ass is 100% guilty. I don't know that. But if I see fear in someone's eyes, that means you really don't want to go to jail. And that could tell me, holy crap, there might be some innocent person. Because I think people who get nervous, I just respect that more. Act like you haven't done it. You know, have a look of concern. Get a sad look on your face. Don't look at the jury angry. Look at the jury like, please don't send me to jail. Like, I need that. And the fact that I didn't see that, he was way too calm, was like, I'm like, he's guilty. He's got to be guilty. Nobody should be that calm when you're in a court environment. Nobody. Now, I'm not saying you have to freak out, start bursting into tears and going, oh, don't oversell it. But let me see your foot. You know, get a little bit of that restless leg syndrome going. Let me see your foot shake underneath the desk or something, or kind of have a look of empathy, like, please feel sorry for me, like something. Show me something show me something about you that could be that is at least remotely human, so that I can have empathy. But no, the guy was way too calm and he was kind of staring me down, and I didn't like it. But I will say this, it got my ass off the jury box. They didn't pick me. My ass went home that day. And that's the best part. I went home and then I went home. And my duty was done. So tonight I'm going to find out if I'm going to go through this again. I'll be in straight, and basically if I do get, obviously if I get put on the jury team, that does mean the BOOCHCAST is going to have to go on a hiatus till I come back, and so I'll have to kind of do that, but it's going to be interesting. See how this all plays out. But hopefully I won't get picked, and I'll have a show tomorrow, and I can move on with the rest of my life until the next time I get one of these bad boys in the mail. All right, and on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I am now going to bring on my co-host at this time. He's an hibachi chef. He's a singer-songwriter. He did not show up yesterday for the show, so the show ended up being co-hosted by Gator. So Gator Ricky Ross kind of took over for him yesterday. But now he's back today, and we'll get a chance to chat with him. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the BOOCHCAST, Desmond.
Hey, Vinny.
Hey, what's up, bro?
I have one thing I want to say, and it is political, but I want to say this real quick. I don't want to get into a debate about it.
Fair enough.
If anybody, and this is specifically directed towards you, is still a Trump supporter after how he turned down after how he backed out of his debate with Bernie, you need to consider this. He didn't just back out of a debate with Bernie. First, he accepted on the grounds that that all proceeds would go to charity. Bernie said, "Fine, that's good. I'm perfectly good with that. Charity, cool." Then all of a sudden, Trump's like, "Oh, he accepted. Okay, well, only if we get $10 million for that donation." Because I guess he assumed that the people didn't want to see this that badly. Well, it hit 20 million. It hit fucking 20 million. And then after that, he completely backed out. So not only did he show cowardice of an intellectual debate with a possible opponent, not even his current opponent for the primaries, just a possible opponent for later. Not only did he turn down a really highly profitable charity event just to show up and talk for a couple of hours, but he went back on his word. He completely backed out of what he had already agreed to do. And he's doing that in the primaries, before even the major election. How do you think he's going to run the country?
Well, bottom line is this. I don't trust Hillary at all, so I'm still going to back Trump.
But
I know. Hold on. I'm not getting a debate. I'm just answering your question. Easy. You made your point. I'm just saying I'm still going to back Trump, but I do agree with you that it was fucked up he didn't accept that debate. That is the one moment where I am going to say Trump should have done that. I am a little disappointed. I'm not going to lie about that. I do agree with you. That is fucked up.
The man isn't honest. He doesn't keep his word. He doesn't know what he's doing. If the only one who is still an option, and it's not a very good option because he's pretty close to losing out as well, is Bernie Sanders. And even Bernie's not perfect. I've got several things that I do not like about Bernie Sanders. And everybody keeps looking at me like, "Oh, you're supporting a socialist." First off, he does have socialist views, but what he proposes, what proposes for our government is not a pure socialistic view. It is not a system. It is something called a social democracy, which is a combination of socialism and capitalism.
Oh yeah.
Takes out the bad from both systems, it puts in the good from both systems, and it hopes that it cancels out the bad and makes things better.
Yeah.
Now, is it perfect? No. Nothing's perfect.
No, absolutely. And I never claimed that Trump was perfect either. Like I'm saying, I agree with you. Trump should have took that debate. That would have been the smartest thing in the world he could have done. Because if for no other reason, like I said, $20 million that goes to charity, the whole thing would have been a big thing to do. And here's why I would have wanted to see the debate, for two reasons. One, I love both these candidates. If either one of them became the president, I'd be happy. I know you're going to be satisfied if one guy gets it. I'm happy if either one of them gets it, because I like both of them are amazing candidates. Bernie was my second choice if Trump didn't make it this far. So I felt that by doing this, both of them together could stick it to Hillary. Because Hillary,
absolutely.
Because Bernie challenged Hillary first. And she backed out. If Trump had taken the debate, even if he didn't do well, this is the best part. Let's say he does it and Bernie Sanders just embarrasses him. It still makes Hillary look bad. Because Donald can say, hey, I lost the debate, but at least I was man enough to do it.
And here's the thing. People don't realize this. They're on opposite sides. Trump and Bernie are on opposite sides. But if you actually look at their views head-to-head, their policies, what they want to enact, a lot of their stuff actually matches up. You actually just look into just the politics, and you ignore the individuals themselves. Because my biggest issues, I've always said with Trump, is the individual, not his political opinions, but the person himself is always been my biggest issue with Trump. And it's like I said, you can't trust him to stick to what he says are his political views. That's the problem with this. But if you look at just what he says he's going to do politically, a lot of what he says actually matches up with Bernie Sanders.
Yeah. And it would have been a hell of a debate. I would have loved to have seen it. And like I said, I agree with you that Trump should have took the debate. Like, it's not changing my opinion of him still. It's because it would take a lot to get me not to do that, just because I hate Hillary more than life itself. So if Hillary was out of the race, maybe you could convert me, but as long as Hillary still has a shot, Trump is my man.
It would be better to vote for an independent, a halfway decent independent, than to vote for either Hillary or Trump.
Oh yeah. And I think the Libertarian Convention, if it's not over by now, it should be. I think that I got to double check that, because I know that there were rumors that Jesse Ventura was probably going to get the Libertarian nomination.
Yeah, there's a lot of good. There's actually, from what I understand, there's 2 or 3 big independents that are actually running this year.
Oh, let me see.
And I know I'm still sticking with Mick Foley for president, but in all seriousness, when it comes down to it, here are my options for voting for president. I'm I'm not registered to vote. I'm not going to vote because I know better. My vote doesn't count. Your vote doesn't count. Nobody's fucking vote counts because the fucking delegates are going to do what they want to do anyway.
Yeah.
I know people say that the delegates can change their opinion based on the popular vote. They can, but they won't. That's just how it works. History has proven that. But, that being said, if you are voting and you do, for some reason, still believe your vote counts, voting for Hillary or voting for Trump is voting for a liar. Is voting for someone who will not keep their word, someone who will back out of everything because they said what they thought you wanted to hear to get elected.
Okay. So, hold on. It says you said they got 3 people running?
There are 2 or 3, from what I understand, major independents who are running this year.
Yeah, I see Gary Johnson, but I can't find the other 2.
They might not have officially announced it yet, but there's a lot of talk, a lot of speculation. They might not have officially announced it though.
Okay, I'm trying to see the vote for vice president. Extended. It says Libertarian National Committee was reelected to the position. What the? It says here Gary Johnston, Austin Peterson, John McCaffrey, Darryl Perry, Mark Allen Feldman, Kevin McCormick, Ron Paul was a write-in, Vermin Supreme was a write-in, Heidi Zeman, and Derek Grayson. It says, so apparently Gary Johnson seems to have gotten the presidential nomination, and the vice president is William Weld.
And
Who?
like I said, the thing about independents is there's a lot of them. You can become an independent. Anybody can run an independent thing. Personally, I'm about 2 seconds from voting for Vermin Supreme.
Wow.
At least he has a zombie plan.
I'm disappointed. I was kind of hoping this would be the year that Jesse would finally throw his name in the hat.
And he still could. Anybody can be written in. As I said, my thing right now is you either vote for an independent or you write in Bernie Sanders for the final. And a lot of people are doing that. Even if Hillary wins the Democratic nominee, a lot of people are going to write in Bernie Sanders anyway.
And could that actually get him the presidency?
If the delegates follow the popular vote, it very well could.
Damn, that would be cool. That would be historic if that happened.
Yeah, as I said, what it's going to come down to is whether or not the Electoral College votes the same way that people do. That's what's going to make the big difference.
Okay. All right, and of course, ladies and gentlemen, like we said before, we didn't want to get into too big of a debate about this, and we're not. But I'm glad that we had a chance to talk about that. We'll see what happens with Gary Johnson in the nomination. See how he does, even if he's allowed to debate, which I don't know if they're going to let him. But anyway, there's another thing I wanted to talk about before we get into the Raw recap. I talked to Desmond about this yesterday. For some reason, Desmond, for those who may not know, is there a reason why you weren't able to be on the show yesterday?
There's a few reasons. Originally, I was planning on going to the river. Like, I was planning on leaving the house at like 11 o'clock. And when you sent me a message asking me if I was calling in because I hadn't called in yet, I was still looking for my goddamn keys. And I was freaking out because the last time I specifically remembered having my keys was in my aunt's car the other night, and she went back to Macon. And for those of you who don't know, that's a good 3-hour drive away from me.
Yeah, Macon pretty far.
So, I was freaking out. Turns out, the keys had been in my pockets that night, and I sat down on the couch. They fell into a deep-ass fucking hole, and got stuck in a weird-ass position to where you couldn't really see it, no matter what the fuck you did. I ended up turning that damn couch upside down, trying to look underneath it, and heard some jingling. I'm like, huh. I had to basically almost pull this goddamn couch apart to get my keys.
Yeah, that's why I Facebooked Desmond after the show. I said, "Did you find your key?" I said, "I did." I'm like, "All right, cool." And because there's a lot of I had a lot of topics for the Memorial Day episode of the BOOCHCAST I wanted to get into, and when Desmond didn't call in, I couldn't change the articles at the last second, so I kind of just went with what I had to go with. But I sent you a copy of the articles because I wanted to get your thoughts on some of these articles. You don't have to go into too much detail. Just whatever much you want to talk about, just because I think it would be, just because I know Desmond would want to talk about each of these. So I'll kind of go down the list in the order in which I talked about them, and I'll let Desmond share his thoughts. The first is also, first of all, have you gotten a chance to look at the articles I sent you?
Yeah, I read through them, and I noticed a lot of what he kind of already talked about a good bit.
Okay. Okay, so we'll start with the first one, and that is, of course, Adam Rose released by WWE. You know, he requested his release from WWE and was given it. So as of last week, Adam Rose is no longer affiliated with the WWE.
I think what happened here. Now, I don't know. I don't know Adam Rose personally, so I can't, vouch for this. Just, he knew that this domestic dispute thing was going to get him fired from WWE, and he didn't want to get fired. So he asked for his release while on suspension, while the case was still pending, so that he couldn't get fired, so that there might be a chance of him coming back later on.
Okay. So you think he did it to kind of save his job because he didn't want to be because he wanted a chance to be brought back if WWE decides to do that.
Right. I think he was looking at this from a business standpoint. He wasn't getting paid as it was because he was suspended. So he wasn't getting paid as it was. And he was contractually obligated to stick with WWE. So he couldn't go to anywhere else to get paid. And he knew he was going to end up losing his job with WWE anyway because of how this court case is going. Now, he is doing the right thing in how he's taking care of the court case. He's going in, he's getting, he's doing some counseling, he's doing everything right. So there's a chance he could come back to WWE later on. And hopefully, as Leo Kruger, not as fucking Adam Rose.
I was actually talking about that yesterday because there's a thing like, do you see the possibility of Adam Rose maybe going to TNA, or if he went to Lucha Underground, do you think Lucha Underground would let him be Leo Kruger?
Well, I don't know about Lucha Underground, but I know TNA has a habit of capitalizing on great stars that were underutilized in WWE. Primary example was fucking Galloway.
Yeah.
Drew Galloway. And so I think what they'll end up doing is they'll end up taking Adam, he can sign on with TNA, which would be a great move for him. He could make a name for himself as Leo Kruger, and then TNA's going under. We all know this. But once this court case is over and he's finished everything with that, he's made a name for himself in TNA. He'd come back to WWE and say, "Hey, look, my resume has changed since the last time you saw me."
Yeah. And they might repackage him as somebody else. That way, maybe they think if we bring him in as Leo Kruger, they'll forget he's Adam Rose or something like that.
Yeah, it'll be something that he could easily, it could make his career better. This could be the time he needs to fix himself, because if he keeps coming back as Adam Rose, different versions of Adam Rose, it's not going to get any better. Definitely not.
He was. It's like he went, because now it was just horrific, and now of course after Adam Rose, the next thing we talked about was, and we'll get your thoughts on this, SmackDown going live starting July 19th.
I think this is something that's going to make SmackDown so much better because of the fact that it is going live and it's no longer edited bullshit. They have to up the quality of the show. They're going to have to have more matches, more stuff in there, and less recapping. Because the thing is, when you go to a SmackDown Live event, they show a bunch of dark matches, they show stuff like that, but the big matches that matter, there's only a couple of them. Now they're going to have all the matches are going to have to matter, especially now that they're going live at the same time as the brand split, or brand extension as they're calling it.
Yeah.
And this is going to make it to where the show itself is going to be better, and we're going to actually have to start doing a goddamn recap of it on the BOOCHCAST.
Yes, that we will. That is actually going to happen. Although, here's the thing, and this is a question that I want to ask about this before we move on to the brand split. And I thought about this. SmackDown's going to go live, and it's going to go live on Tuesday. So it's going to be a Tuesday show. The problem is TNA also airs their show on Pop TV on Tuesday. So I think TNA's in trouble unless they can move to another network by then. I mean, another time slot on another day by then.
Yeah, well, I think all the TNA execs are going to have to say is, "Hey, look, WWE is going to whoop our ass in the ratings. We're going to lose ratings if you don't move us."
Yeah. They're going to have to go back to like a Thursday or a Friday show. It can't be Wednesday because that's NXT, and it's NXT and Lucha.
Yeah, so I think what they're going to end up having to do is they'll end up moving back to Thursdays, which will be fine. And
the cool thing about SmackDown going live, because I mean they've always been filmed on Tuesday. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
So all they're doing now is they're making a live show. And the big thing here is when they go live, they cannot make it a Raw recap show. Because of the fact they're going to have individual rosters, they have to do just them. You know, showing one or two big moments. They have like a 45-second segment where it's like the Raw recap, and it shows that, and then Raw can do the same thing with the SmackDown recap. You know, because those are going to matter because they're going to have their own rosters.
Yeah.
For example, if you're going to want to see if you're going to want to see John Cena, you're actually going to have to watch SmackDown.
Absolutely, because it looks like that's what they were going to talk about. Cena going to SmackDown and keeping Roman Reigns on Raw, and that of course brings us to the brand split. And they said the brand split is returning. Some people are looking. It's like some people in WWE want to see a hard split, and some of them want to see a soft split.
I think we have to see a hard split. To make it to where we don't have one show being the main show and the other being a fallback show, there has to be a hard split.
Yeah.
Because that was something. That's when the brand split started failing at the end of the time that happened last time. The problem was people kept switching shows, going to the other show over and over and over again, to the point where it wasn't surprising anymore, and the show just became one show again.
Yeah. And plus, the star quality had gone down, which is why they had to bounce so many people around. It just, there wasn't enough stars left. Now it's getting to that point where they got it. And I'm fine with the brand split. They said they want to put the Intercontinental title on one show and the U.S. title on the other. I'm all for that. The only thing I don't want to see is I don't want the world title, the tag titles, or the women's title to split. I want one champion to show up on both those shows. I don't want to see.
I don't understand that. I don't know why you want that. Because to me, that ruins it.
To me, because I think splitting the titles would be just like the last time. It will work good for a while, and then the world title will it will devalue the championship. Because then they'll have to have a world champion, and you'll see people with world titles who aren't ready to be champion.
That wasn't because one happened to be that way. If they do it right, they'll have one champion. And like Big Bull's like, look, I'm the champion of this show. Or it's like, I'm the face of the show. And they make it where those champions are consistently competing to be better than the other champions. They have that value. You have to increase the value of both champions at the same time by having them put on better and better matches than the other champions.
Well,
and that's what they have to do. And when they tried having, remember when they did the brand split originally, they had only one champion, but that ended up failing miserably, and it will fail again if we try to keep it that way.
I don't see where it failed. I think it was just a decision they made. I don't think it was something that really failed.
It was losing traction fast. And every freaking major wrestling insider agrees with this. You're the only person I know who thinks it's a bad idea to have champion for each show.
Yeah, because I feel like you're going to see people who are world champions that aren't ready.
I disagree. We've got too many people who are worthy of the world champion in right now who aren't able to get it because there are too many people and only one title.
Well, we'll see what they do, but I'm just saying, if they split the belts, I'm going to have a bad feeling about this. Maybe they can prove me wrong, but I have my doubts.
Now, something I really hope they do is when they do Money in the Bank, because we're about that's the next pay-per-view. They've got to keep it as only one Money in the Bank briefcase.
Okay. Here's my question. How do you do that when there's two world champions?
That makes it better. because what you do is you make it to where it says you can challenge for any title anywhere. That's what it'll say on in the briefcase. So the person who gets the briefcase can jump ship to the other show, like Benoit did, and go for that title. He can go.
Wait, Chris Benoit. Wait a minute. Wait, what are we talking about? Chris Benoit wasn't a Money in the Bank winner.
No, he had something that makes where he could go for a title, but he did jump ship to go for the other championship.
You sure it wasn't CM Punk or something?
I know it wasn't CM Punk. CM Punk wasn't around. CM Punk wasn't a major superstar when during the time of the brand split.
Okay, I'm just saying. I don't remember Chris Benoit doing something like that, but okay. I'll have to go back and look at that if I can even find it.
Well, regardless, it won't even matter. It has been happened where you can jump ship. Oh, he did it with the Royal Rumble. He won the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
It's the same idea, though. You use the Money in the Bank like he did for the Royal Rumble, where you can jump ship by going for that title.
And do we do the same thing with the Royal Rumble? You can challenge for any championship and kind of make those both moments where people can jump ship if they want to?
So basically, they can look at who is the champion and decide, I have a better chance against this person.
Okay.
Or this person's going to be more of a star.
All right. Well, on that note, we got a few more articles here before we get to the Raw recap. And then, of course, there was this rumor here. It says here, according to John Cena, he was only 70% healed from his shoulder surgery upon his return to Raw last night.
I mean, you can't recover in half the time that you're required to and be 100%. He returned on Memorial Day because it was Memorial Day. You notice he didn't do anything extremely strenuous last night.
No, he really didn't.
And that's probably why. He showed up because it was Memorial Day and he wanted to support the troops. That was why he showed up. That's it.
Okay. So they're probably going to wait till it's 100% before they actually put him in a match?
Or at least closer to 100%. Before they put him in anything crazy, right now he's just going to do spots and he's going to hype shit up until he's ready to actually be in the picture again.
Okay. All right, and that's as far as we're going to go without giving anything away. So we're just going to move on to the next article.
Right.
And this is one thing that was interesting that I definitely wanted your thoughts on because it puts to bed a lot of internet rumors and conspiracies that have spread around. John Cena says that he prefers the blood and graphic content to the current PG era.
Well, John Cena is 36 years old, okay? The man doesn't want something that's geared towards children. He understands why we have this program we have, but at the same time, he wants something that's more geared towards people his own age.
Yeah.
And that makes sense.
Yeah, another thing that makes sense is because, edgy language, because he said when you're allowed the the freedom within reason to curse a little bit, it emphasizes the anger, which is true.
Yeah, I mean, and he's still allowed a little bit of freedom. I heard him say, he said bitch not too long ago. He still says it on occasion. But he has to be so much more tight and wadded up in it.
Yeah.
He hates that because it takes away from his character.
And it also takes away from the aggression. It really does. Like, it's like you can't really go after somebody and you can't portray hatred to someone and be clean and politically correct. Doesn't work that way in the real world.
Okay. Absolutely. So that's, people want to say, oh, Cena's a company man. He's going to do what the company tells him to do. But that doesn't mean he prefers it that way.
Yeah.
And that's what people don't realize.
It's like the man's doing his job. That's it. You know?
Yeah, and it's just one of those things that really, that it's like, people want to get pissed off because it's like, Cena's making the PG era worse. I'm like, Cena's not the one doing it. He's doing the best of what he's got given.
Exactly. They're all doing that. You know, it's like they give everybody else a free pass, but they feel like John should be nailed to the fucking cross.
When it comes down to it, it is Vince's decision.
Yes.
That makes things the way they are.
Exactly. And now, of course, I got this next article here, and this was given to me, ladies and gentlemen, by Frank. Frank called into the show yesterday, and he brought this piece of information to my attention. I didn't even plan on talking about this today until Frank called in and told me about this, and I'm finding out lately that some people think that this is a fake article. Some people are saying these are rumors or whatever. But I definitely want Desmond's thought on this. Apparently, The Undertaker is angry with Vince McMahon over WrestleMania 32. Apparently, Vince wanted The Undertaker to job to Shane McMahon. He refused. That's why we got the ending that we got at WrestleMania 32. And since that time, The Undertaker is not returning Vince McMahon's calls, and Vince is trying to get him to work SummerSlam, and there's a rumor that after WrestleMania 32, The Undertaker may not come back.
Consider the source. Did you look at the source of that article? It is the fucking Inquisitor. That entire website is designed to make fake articles for entertainment value, period. Bar none. That website does not make real articles.
It doesn't. Okay.
And so that's all I've got to say about that. The Inquisitor is not a reliable source. I'm sorry, Frank, but you don't know what you're talking about.
Latest trending news and an array of topics. More than 1 million looked at The Inquisitor. Our management team is constantly looking to have The Inquisitor. If you have suggestions or feedback, The Inquisitor is committed to bring the best online news platform available, the place to find the news you want presented objectively, and accuracy is our number one priority. But we're human. In the fast-moving digital journalism, things can come to light after a story has been reported that had not been previously available. If you find any issues they're reporting, please let us know so we can assess the issue and take appropriate action. Okay, so apparently they're not like, this isn't like kayfabe news where they just post fake shit for no reason. Apparently, they're saying that they have made mistakes in the past, and apparently, from what Desmond's saying, this is one of them. So, okay. All right. So, then I guess I owe an apology for what I said yesterday.
I've never seen an article for fact.
Huh?
I've never seen an article that was 100% true. Not one.
Okay. All right, then. So, I guess I owe an apology. The Undertaker is not a whiny diva after all. Okay. I retract that previous statement from yesterday's show. All right. And then we got the last one here before we take a break and go on to Monday Night Raw. Of course, we got here John Cena t-shirt pulled from the WWE shop after a legal threat from Pat's Blue Ribbon.
Okay, this pisses me off. I've seen the shirt. I've seen the logo. I kind of see where they're coming from. I see how it kind of sort of looks like their logo. But goddamn, it's not like they fucking just took the logo straight up. They didn't have the ribbon and all that shit on it. It's just a goddamn flag in a circle.
Yeah.
Can't copyright basic geometric shapes. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and apparently, so apparently that was the one they were going to do, and then it got pulled from. So apparently WWE has pulled it from shop.com. They're not selling it anymore, but apparently Pat's Blue Ribbon has a cease and desist. And here's what bothered me. Maybe you could back me up on this. What kind of company? I understand like I have a Twitter page, you have a Twitter page. It's our own personal Twitter pages. So I can understand if we did something like this, you could do that on your own personal Twitter page. But if you run another company's Twitter page, Why would you put a middle finger emoji in a tweet?
I didn't think it was a middle finger.
That was a middle finger.
It doesn't matter.
I'm just saying, what company does that?
A lot nowadays. You have to realize nowadays people are getting more and more liberal with their with what they're willing to post. They're taking more liberties. They're having more fun with it. And honestly, that's a good way to go. You're marketing towards a younger crowd nowadays.
Well, it does make perfect sense. I'm looking at the followers on Password. It says 14 followers I know, and the first guy is giving the middle finger in his tweet. And he's holding a PBR can in his hand.
But long story short, and for all you know, he can get in trouble. He might be getting in trouble with that for past blue ribbon. But in the long run, it's beyond the point. WWE pulled it because they don't want to deal with a lawsuit. They're like, fine, we'll pull the shit off. Not a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
But the fucking shirt did not have the logo straight up. And there is something called a fair use policy. It's what allows people to make parodies of songs despite the fact that it's straight up ripping off another song. That's why Weird Al Yankovic doesn't technically need permission to make his joke songs about every other person's music. He doesn't technically need the permission. Now he gets it out of respect, but he doesn't have to, and he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
And it's the same way with this T-shirt. If they had made it and they made a joke out of it, and they called it something else but used the same basic logo with a different thing on there, they could have called it fair use policy. It is within the law to make parodies and shit. But they didn't. They didn't make a ribbon. They didn't do nothing. They just posted a goddamn. They just made a patriotic shirt for John Cena to match his patriotic character on Memorial Day.
Awesome. I couldn't agree more. And that is definitely an interesting, definitely a great way to look at it. Definitely very true facts. I'm glad Desmond was able to I'm glad we were able to take time to talk about those articles. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do right now is we're going to take a break here. And when we return, we will have the recap of last night's Monday Night Raw here on the BOOCHCAST. So we'll be back right after this.
Yeah, I'm gonna be alright. I have to make it on my own. Every step along the way, people try and bring you down. All along the way, trying to find my new home. People come and people go. Only one thing that stays true. Yeah, we all will die. How you live is up to you. Shows baby a hard one. But at least I've had some fun. Mistakes have been my good times. And yeah, what's done is done. All alone tonight. Yeah, I'm walking alone. Yeah, I'm gonna be alright. I have to make it on my own. Every step along the way, people try and bring you down. Trying to find my new hometown. All along the road tonight. Trying to find my new hometown.
Hello and welcome back to the BOOCHCAST. During the break, we played the song New Hometown, which is an original written and performed by my co-host, Mr. Desmond Dagenhart. It is the theme song to the movie Walking, the Derek Shapiro film, which is coming out tomorrow on movieinternetchannel.yellowsite.com, as well as the movie internet channel, YouTube channel. Make sure you go and check the movie out. It'll be available tomorrow. Make sure you check it out. If there's a show tomorrow, we will have Derek Shapiro on the show to talk about the movie Walking and to give some great insight. Also, don't forget, if you want to find out more about Desmond's music, you can go to Facebook. You can go to facebook.com/Desmond Dagenhart, DesmondDagenhart. Click the like button, follow his progress, check out all his videos. Also, if you have any song requests you would like to send to Desmond, you can message him through the Facebook page. He is very responsive to his messages, and he will do his best to get his song request to you at a reasonable time. So make sure you go and check out New Hometown, as well as all the other great songs. Follow the progress of Desmond Dagenhart and as he pursues his music career. So make sure you go to that page right now to support his music. And be on the lookout for Walking, coming out tomorrow on movieinternetchannel.yellowsite.com. And I just saw a caller on the line, but he hung up, or she hung up. So while we wait to see if that person calls back, I'm going to jump right into the Monday Night Raw recap here. And the show is in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And the show starts off with the entire roster on the stage. They ring the bell 10 times in tribute to the fallen heroes on Memorial Day. And then after that, the superstars read quotes from Ronald Reagan's speech in 1982 on Memorial Day. And then, of course, after all that, Shane McMahon's music hits. He makes his way out to the ring. And then just as Shane's about to speak, boom, Stephanie McMahon's music hits. And she comes out to the ring. And she grabs a microphone, turns to her brother Shane, and here is what she has to say to her brother at the start of Monday Night Raw.
I know you were planning on doing this without me. Right, big brother? Okay, so let's just get things started. Welcome to Raw.
Yeah, I think we can do a little bit better than that. You know, it's kind of the same old stuff. We're hearing a lot of this, and what everyone wants to be hearing is this. I mean, let's try that again. Let's welcome everyone, especially those in attendance right here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The Monday Night Raw. It's a little bit better. Much better. Well, as the chairman would say, you know, time to shake things up here a little bit in the WWE. The new era has definitely changed the landscape, and the landscape is changing big time. On July 19th will be a momentous day for WWE.
Why will it be momentous?
Because SmackDown is going live just like Raw every Tuesday night right here on the UFC Network. That means better shows, better opportunities, better matchups, better for everybody.
But that's SmackDown, and right now we're here live again on Monday Night Raw. And tonight we will witness the return of the one and only John.
When the New Day heard that was going on, we all let out one collective. Wow. I mean, honestly, when we heard that announcement made, it stirred up all different kinds of emotions in our body. And personally, I was excited about the possibility of bringing the power of positivity to Raw and SmackDown live. But honestly, as excited as we were, that excitement eventually turned into paranoia. I'm going to pee. That's for paranoia is a great word to describe it, especially when we're on social media clicking around and seeing statements like these. It's the big news that SmackDown going live on July 19th, headlines everywhere around the world. And with the WWE's large diversified talent pool, so much discussion has been placed on the brand extension, creating a unique makeup for both Raw and SmackDown. Question after question has been asked by the WWE Universe about Fluor's brand extension. It is true that there will be unique superstars for both Raw and SmackDown. They'll be unique rosters. Okay. My Jim Stay Mac, you can always depend on him for an answer, man. I knew I could count on you. You know how I knew? Because of the quality of your shoes, man. Your shoes was fine, man. Trust me, I know. Yeah, Stephanie. Yours look all right, too. Yours look okay. But what I wanted you guys to know is that the New Day is all about that new era, baby. Yeah. And myself in particular, I mean, some new era through and through. Kofi, what are you doing? We all know you've been here a good decade. Come on, man. It's been over 8 years. Oh, come on. You know you were my favorite when I was in middle school. Oh. That's not important, man. That's not important. What is important is the question that's on everybody's mind. What the entire WWE universe wants to know. And that question is, where is the New Day going?
Well, we haven't officially made any of those decisions yet, Kofi. I mean, you'll find out in due time, okay?
You see what you did there? Stephanie, get on the question.
I'm not dodging.
Play the role, Stephanie. On your invisible wall, now play the role of the question. Stop! You are
not dodging. I'm not dodging.
You are playing dodgeball with these questions, Stephanie. You can't honestly even think about the New Day. Come on! We are there. That's true, and as entertaining as you are, I just want to say that there's nothing that's not on the table. Hold the door! 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 You mean that there's a chance that you could bring up the New Day? Trombones that come from a broken home don't get the same opportunities in life. It's a good problem. She deserves all 3 of her fathers. Please don't do this. Please, my dad.
Just get a hold of yourself, okay? You know, like my brother said, everything's on the table, but nothing's been officially decided yet.
Okay. But that brings me to my next question. Right now, who is going to run SmackDown Live? Answer.
Well, we haven't exactly figured that one out yet either. Okay, this is a work in progress.
That's true, but everything will be extremely well thought out. Wait a minute. Hold up. Y'all two haven't decided yet, have you? I smell a little sibling rivalry brewing. That's a sibling rivalry. That's what that is. Yeah. You know what we do when we can't agree, which is never, so we do nothing. But if we could, do you know what we do? There's challenge!
Challenge? That is ridiculous. I'm not doing it.
Oh, yeah, I want to see it. I'm game. That's all right. You got it. Okay. They don't know. I'm in the hearing. That's right. It may be ugly, but I'm in. You are up first, baby. Let's in the position. Let's film the position. Don't wait on this side. Okay, there we go. You're on this side, but I'll... after WrestleMania. Yeah, you think in less than 2 months, Mark Villains what a tournament express. Nobody contenders the tag team titles. In fact, you get a clear rule from the that close to actually winning the tag team championship. I got a tag team championship match last week in Extreme Rules with Night John on Villains. Another chance to be wasn't a great match. Tonight they got a chance to put themselves right back in that title picture. Yeah, the Buck Villains going to take on the New Day, the tag team champions here tonight on victory. Gets to play back in the tag team title. And the game is opportunity. The opportunity is falling here tonight for the Buck Villains. Buck Villains versus the New Day. Tag team action live next.
I'm sorry. Did I hear that correctly? Did we suddenly I'm sorry. Is today Friday? I didn't realize we were recapping SmackDown.
What do you mean? I don't get. Hello? Bueller?
I'm here, dude.
Bueller?
Dude, I'm right here.
Okay, now you're saying something. Okay. I don't see the SmackDown point here.
He said coming up live on SmackDown. Yesterday was Raw.
Yeah, I don't pay no attention. I don't pay no attention to Michael Cole. I don't think anybody pays attention to Michael Cole. JBL sure doesn't.
That's why I was saying, is it Friday today? Because I don't recall this being a SmackDown recap. We don't even do those. So I was just thrown by that.
Well, they actually picked on him for it at the start of the match when it came back from the air. Cole actually had to apologize for making a mistake.
Yeah.
They were talking about the SmackDown Live shit and threw him off.
Yeah. He even said, come on, guys, let me have it. And they just let him have it. Yeah. I admire the fact that he took it in stride. But I got to say, this is one of the rare moments where I'm actually pissed off at the Vaudevillains because I kind of wanted to see Stephanie dance. I really did. I think we all did.
I don't know. After seeing that atrocity that was what Shane McMahon did as a dance.
Oh, you didn't like Shane?
I've seen Shane dance better than that, and he fucking blew it.
I'm sure they'll do a better dance. Hopefully someday we'll get a better dance contest out of Shane and Stephanie. I think that would have been fun. But the New Day, when they came out, they did bring up an interesting point that I didn't think about yesterday, and you didn't mention earlier. Could the New Day get split up, and could we see tag teams split up in this brand extension?
It's very possible, and I hope that we don't see too much of it. But there are certain tag teams that I wouldn't mind separating.
Like
the New Day.
What? You want to split the New Day?
Yes.
They're the hottest thing in WWE right now.
I haven't liked Kofi Kingston since 2009.
Okay.
When he was on his own, when he was doing his own thing, he had that rivalry with fucking Randy Orton for a while. That was his best moment. I want that Kofi Kingston back. I don't want this bullshit now. And we're all sick of seeing the New Day as champions. Come on. You've even said it.
Yeah, I'm sick of them as champions, but it doesn't mean I want them to break up. I just don't want them to want them to lose the tag team titles.
So leave Xavier Woods and Big E together. They sucked on their own. But I want to see Kofi Kingston on a singles run.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if he pull it off. I mean, I think he's so ingrained in the New Day. If he tried to win solo, the crowd wouldn't respond.
All he'd have to do is come back with some new music. You know, what happens is he'd go to the other brand, and they'd all start chanting New Day. He would ignore it, or he would go with it for a while, turn heel, do his own thing for a while that didn't follow the goddamn New Day's package, and eventually, just like with Bray Wyatt and Husky Harrison, they would fall back. They would let it go.
All right. Well, and for him to do that, he would have to completely bury the New Day in a promo to make that work.
He would have to completely break off his connection to it, just like Seth Rollins did with the Shield. Now, the only difference is I wouldn't mind seeing Xavier Woods and Big E sticking together. Like I said, they were horrible on their own.
Yeah.
But hell, Kofi Kingston ran this promo for the New Day. He can do shit on his own. He can talk. He can put on a hell of a match. He's got the package.
Okay, well, other than the New Day, is there any other teams you're thinking about splitting up?
Breezango.
I was waiting for that one. And we're going to talk about them a little later in the show. But, oh, my God. Oh, I don't know. I mean, I could see Tyler doing well solo, but I think Fandango's going to flop if they try to go solo with him again.
Fandango is eventually going to have to completely go away for a while, come back, repackage with a whole new name, new gimmick, and everything.
Yeah.
And you got to stop with that bullshit accent bullshit. Come on. If he just talk normal and come in with a regular gimmick, he would do better.
Yeah. I'm trying to think like, yeah, that would be insane. Like, well, yeah, and the thing is like, and another thing is like, what about the Social Outcasts? What if they split them up? Are they just gonna fall by the wayside again?
Are they still a thing?
Well, yeah, they're a 3-man team now since Adam Rose isn't there. They actually had a match with the New Day last week.
I mean, they're already the social jobbers. They're not doing anything as a tag division anyway.
Yeah, true, but they were still getting. But they got a lot. They got a hell of a lot as a Social Outcast. They got more TV and mic time than they ever did.
Yeah, but look who they are. There's a reason for that. And they're really not getting that much TV and mic time.
At least not anymore. Not recently, anyway. I don't know if it has anything to do with Adam Rose or what, but I think they were kind of letting things die down a little bit. But I could see what happens with them. Like, there's a lot. Like, that's the thing. I wish they would just draft if they separate the tag. If they did the tag teams, just draft them as a team and put them on a show. Put some tag teams on SmackDown. Put some tag teams on Raw. And the tag team champions just bounce around both shows.
Yeah, now the tag teams, now we were talking about this earlier with the world title. You didn't want to see 2 world titles. I don't think we have enough teams for 2 tag titles.
We don't. We definitely don't.
So I'm perfectly fine with having the tag champions go back and forth between the shows. But I do still believe 2 world titles are needed. Because
Okay.
we've got too many singles. We've got too many great single stars right now.
All right. And on that note, as Michael Cole said in his little slip-up error, we do have the first official match of the night, which is the New Day versus the Vaudevillains.
The Vaudevillains just full-out fucking dominated the vast majority of this match.
Oh yeah, it was definitely a brawl.
And which really just makes me mad because if I'm right, the New Day won this match, did they not?
Yes, they did.
So Yeah, they won, but then they won because of disqualification.
Yes.
Because the okay, never mind. That doesn't make me mad anymore.
Yeah.
Now that I really think about it, I just remembered that. They won via disqualification because the club came out and whipped their ass.
Yes, Gallows and Anderson came out, attacked the New Day viciously, and then the New Day ended up winning the match. But yes, the Vaudevillains did dominate a good majority of the match until Gallows and Anderson came out. So they had somewhat of a decent match, and the Vaudevillains, they kind of just left the ring, and after they beat down Big E, and then Gallows and Anderson kind of jumped in, the Vaudevillains were like, it's all yours. They left the ring, walked away. So Gallows and Anderson chose to let them live, and then they hit the Magic Killer on Big E and stand over them as the music
plays. Great way to two heel teams right here. We had the Vaudevillains who showed that their power, showed that they belong in the ring with the tag champions, and then which they were like, look, we were dominating anyway. You won the match, but only because these guys interfered. And then they just followed that same. It's like, so Vaudevillains proving, like, we had you beat. It's enough said. And then you got Gallows and Anderson, who just came out and said, we wiped out all fucking three of them. So you just built up two heel teams in one segment.
Yeah. And it was definitely good. And it shows a sign that hopefully we're seeing hopefully we're going to be seeing the tag team titles get taken off the New Day very soon. If not by the Vaudevillains, then by at least Gallows and Anderson. Because I think Enzo and Cass are still dealing with the Dudley Boys for the time being. But we'll get into more on that later. But of course, after all this, we cut to the backstage area. We see Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows walking to the back after the victory. They get caught up by Renee Young, and here's what she has to say about Gallows and Anderson's attack on the New Day.
What was that all about up there?
What that was all about was showing that we can inflict just as much damage without AJ Styles by our side. AJ's going his way, and we're going our way. Our way is by putting the New Day, the tag team division, and the entire WWE roster on notice that we have arrived, and we're not going anywhere. In fact, we're just getting started.
They're just getting started.
This was one hell of a setup to them, because that's exactly what they said. Exactly what they needed to say. They put the division on notice, and they're just going to jump in there and they're going to do what they want to do.
Yep, they're taking over.
And if you want to stop them, try getting in their way and try to stop them.
That right there is a badass tag team, and I like the way they're being pushed here. They're definitely letting them know that they're going to establish dominance in the WWE. And I do see that we have a call on the line, so before we continue the recap, we'll take this quick call, see what's on the person's mind, and hello, you're on the BOOCHCAST.
Vinny, Desmond. Oh no, I think we should just mute him again. I was trying to be nice today. I was gonna or anything like that, how crappy it is, but whatever. How you doing then? I'm doing alright, man. How you doing, Mark? It was pretty cool. I went hung out with some friends, and when I finally got my keys, I went hung out with a couple friends, went to the river, and it was just all in all a good day. Oh, fantastic. What about you, Vinny? How was your Memorial Day?
It was great. I actually pretty much my schedule didn't really change. I did the BOOCHCAST yesterday, and then I had to go to work, which was a lot. It's actually gotten a lot better at work now because I have officially been pulled from the garden center permanently, so I don't have to deal with the bullshit that goes on out there anymore. So I'm actually in a much better mood.
I'm surprised you still have a job.
Me too. Me too. Trust me. Me too.
All I got is, I don't know what it is. Actually, if you ever heard the BOOCHCAST, you would not have a job. I was thinking like the fire up and like, this is Vinny Bucci from Rock 100.5. The intern from back then, we got to keep him. And the manager's like, this guy's impossible. He's like, I don't care. Keep him on.
No, I used to vent about it on Rock 100.5. Never got in trouble one time because my bosses never listened to the regular guys early in the morning. So I lucked out.
I guess so, because you've been fired like 3 years ago.
I should have been fired years ago. Not just for things I said on the air, but for arguments I got into with managers that pissed me off. Not like major managers, but like people in my own department that just pissed me off to no end. It's a miracle. Somehow they've had counseling sessions with me, but never pulled the trigger.
Yeah, they're gonna come in one day all pissed off and like he's gonna have this John Cena attire and just like God, just do double A's on everybody. Like it's gonna be crazy. He's gonna blow up and go to the manager, pick him up on his shoulders and drop on the street. Hilarious. I want to be the recorder when it happens.
Nah, well, I don't know if I could lift. It depends on whether or not I could lift them. I would probably do something like a stunner or a pedigree. That something doesn't involve a lot of lifting.
So I'm gonna get covered on 2K17 yet?
No, but we're happy to talk about it. Desmond sent me the promo video. Love it.
Yeah, I was kind of mixed because I'm not really big of a Goldberg fan. I think I was when I was a kid, but I'm not crazy about him today. And like, I put my feelings aside and I was thinking to myself, you know, this might actually work. And always from the aspect of Goldberg hit that streak for 150 plus wins on WCW. What if you actually had to play through all 170 matches in your career mode?
Well, here's what the thing is. When you pre-order, it's not just Goldberg that you're getting. You're also getting 2 WCW arenas. This game is going to be centered more around the fact that WCW was bought out by WWE. If I looks of it. Yeah.
And there could be some WCW related stuff. I mean, they kind of did that a little bit in 2000 and 2K16 when you did the Stone Cold showcase, which I've done 5 or 6 times, but I'm not going to explain why. Certain somebody has a reason for that. But anyway, when I played it, they have the bonus levels where you're stunning Steve Austin in WCW. So they put a little bit of WCW in there. So you had to unlock like Bash at the Beach, because that's where he fought, I think, Brian Pillman. Then there was another one where he faced no, that was Ricky Steamboat. And then there was another pay-per-view where he faced Brian Pillman, another one where he faced Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. And then they had one from like ECW when he had the match with Mikey Whipwreck, which I'm still trying to process why Austin and ECW agreed to job to Mikey Whipwreck when he left WCW for bullshit reasons, but I don't know. But yeah, maybe this could be something else.
He didn't leave WCW for bullshit reasons. Even Austin has admitted the reason that they ended up leaving WCW. Now he vented a lot about his anger in ECW, but he's even admitted that he left WCW because Eric Bischoff called and said, "Look, you're injured again. You're getting older for this. We got younger guys who are able to do more for less money. I have to let you go." That was a business decision.
Well, in his mind at the time, it was for bullshit reasons. That's what I mean. That's the mentality he had during that time. Like, he looks back on it now because he's older and wiser and understands the business better. And that happens with anybody over time. You get older and wiser, you understand certain things. So nowadays, he doesn't blame Eric Bischoff for firing him. He understood the reason. But at the time, he's in that state. He's angry. He's pissed. You know, all these politics are holding me down. So why am I jobbing to Mikey Whipwreck in ECW? Like, That's just me. I don't get it. Maybe Austin was cool with it. I don't know. I'm just saying, me personally, I would have been like, I would have turned to Paul Heyman and been like, you got to be fucking kidding me.
But you got to realize that, the big thing with Austin is I'm okay with losing a match, but it has to be as long as the business is right. Even back then, that was his thought process. So I don't know much about Mikey Whipwreck because I didn't watch ECW back in the day. I mean, I've seen like a few of the Legends matches, the great ones, but I haven't. I didn't spend time just sitting there watching old ECW. And so, but was there a story behind how they got to that match?
I don't know. If there was, they didn't make the story clear in 2K16. The only reason I know he jobbed to him was because when you play the 2K showcase, it does the finish of the match for you. So you know who won, and it's based on the real storyline. So in reality, that's how I know.
Right.
That's the only reason I know. I didn't actually watch it. I don't know the storyline. I just know it was a random match, and I went, Austin let my what? It just kind of threw me off. I was like, are you serious? But yeah, I saw 2K17. I love the fact that Goldberg is a part of it. I think that some people are disappointed that was the hashtag hatch that WWE put out. Some people were like, wow, I'm so disappointed because they were expecting something else. And some people just were like, this was it, really? A video game?
We were expecting a debut or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just hope they fix a lot of things they had wrong with 2K16 also. I mean, it's great that they incorporate Goldberg. I think the storylines might be good, especially for, like, people who like, especially WCW. Goldberg was a big integral part of bringing WCW to its promised land. NWO was, of course, one of the pivoting moments that changed wrestling landscape, forever. But then also Goldberg came in with that unbelievable streak and changed a lot of things. But I wonder how much they're going to change the dynamic and a lot of different choices of matches, a lot of things they didn't have in 2K16. 2K15 was the worst. 2K fixed a lot of things. I want to see what they else they can fix on 2K17 to make the game better than it is for 2K16. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I'll be the first to say I love 2K16 because it did fix a lot of the problems with 2K15. I love the game. But at the same time, it's like you said, 2K15 was absolutely the worst. 2K16 was better, but there are still certain things they need to work on. And the one thing that still bugs me is the fucking size of the goddamn ring. You can't tell me you don't notice it. It looks like you're playing on a fucking 16x16 ring instead of a 20x20. Well, I mean, I can see what they're doing, but they're trying to size it down for the game, I mean, it's kind of hard. I have a big screen TV, so my TV looks fucking huge. But I mean, it's for game purpose. I know they want to make it real live. How huge it looks on the TV, it's how huge it looks compared to the Superstar. I want it to look just like it does when I'm watching wrestling on TV. And that's not how it looks. The ring looks fucking like a kid version. Yeah, but 2K, to the defense of 2K, they just acquired this title not too long ago. So I can kind of see why they're kind of slowly doing. They didn't have that problem. That was something that was new in 2K15. Yeah, but the thing is, 2K, if you looked at, I played 2K16 for basketball. I played 2K15, and I'm planning to play 2K17 also. But with these games, they drastically get better when it comes to the ring. When it comes to the arenas, when it comes to the lights, when it comes to all this stuff. So if you they're making it aesthetically better little by little. And I think with wrestling, I see when they first got it, they don't know what to do with it. All right, we got to change the dynamic of the game and do something different. Now I think they finally got a good feel. I think this year it's going to be better than 2K16. I feel that 2K17 is going to be good, but 2K18 is going to be the one where you're like, oh, where's that? Well, they're fixing. There are things they got to fix. Obviously, the ring thing. I want my ultimate control grapples back. I think they should bring that back. I can carry someone over and throw them over the ring. Maybe not. Maybe you don't hold them for as long as you could in the other ones, but to where I could have options. There's certain things that I would like to have back. Was creative finish? Is
creative finisher in 17? I don't think it is.
I don't know.
They don't have a lot of details on it just yet.
Oh, 60. It's not creative finisher's not in 16, is it?
There was no creative finisher on 16. No, it's not there. But like I said, the promo video is all we got right now. We got to wait until we get some more information because it's probably not coming out till October.
Yeah, it's true.
End of October, start of November is usually when it comes out. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be a while before we find out anything major. Right now, they're just letting us know that this next game is going to feature Goldberg. And because Goldberg is featured in the game, which Goldberg, I saw on his Twitter page, he wrote #I'm back. And he's been getting like tons and tons of tweets. And they're saying, and he's like, oh my God, I can't believe it. And he replied to this one guy saying, kept that secret good, didn't I? Because Goldberg, no one expected this. Goldberg kept it such a massive secret. And people are wondering if this is going to lead to a possible in-ring return for Goldberg. Could we see Goldberg back in the WWE?
I'd rather see him in the Hall of Fame, and that's it. I don't want to see Goldberg in the ring anymore. I mean, he drew a lot. It was great. I would like to have him out there, maybe spear the hell out of Social Outcast or something.
Yeah.
But that's it. Like, I just want him to come out there, take out Keith Slater or whoever, Chris Hackman, if he's still around.
I have one thing different. You don't want to see him in the ring at all. I just want to see him in a dream match or two at a major pay-per-view or something. I don't want to see him as a full-time superstar.
Oh, yeah.
But I would love to see him come back for a match.
Well, Goldberg has always said that there's a part of him that would come back to the ring, and it would just be kind of like the reason that Mick Foley came back briefly or Shane McMahon had that epic match at Mania so his kids could see him in the ring. So Goldberg's kids could see the star their dad was. Because, that massive pop when everybody went, Goldberg, Goldberg. Like, this guy, despite, everybody talks about move variation and all this other bullshit. Goldberg did what he did and got a louder pop than any cruiserweight could ever have dreamed of getting in WCW. Goldberg was a star, regardless. He is a legend. And the man, I could see him. I don't know who he would face. Definitely not Brock Lesnar, unless they really want to get their shit together this time around. I don't see Goldberg going to Suplex City, so that's probably not going to happen. But I could see Goldberg in a match or two. Put him in the ring with, somebody. I could see Goldberg working a match with a couple people, a couple dream bouts.
Roman Reigns.
I guess he was great.
Match with Roman Reigns.
Oh, snap. I like it.
First one to hit that fucking full body spear. Because let's be honest, these two men have the best full-on football-style tackle spear of anyone in the history of wrestling.
Yes, bar none.
These two are, and the reason is because they both actually played fucking football. And they both were, that's what they did. That's why I still say Edge had no business doing a spear. He had no idea how to make a spear look like it actually hurt.
No, it really, really didn't. I thought that was he had so many other moves that he did in his arsenal that I thought he could have did so much that could have been better finishers for him. But instead, they kept giving him the spear, and it was just like, oh, good God.
I think in the long run, he had the right to decide what his finisher was, and he chose the spear.
Yeah. I mean, he had a right to decide. Doesn't make the decision right.
No, absolutely not. I mean,
Goldberg's first time, whatever, it was great. He's a good competitor, great fighter and everything else. He could have done a lot more when it comes to moves, but you're right. When he came out there, I was one of those people, too, who was, completely behind Goldberg. I was like, oh, my God, it's Goldberg. You heard that music? He come out, and, smoke came out of his nose and his mouth. I'm like, dude, this guy is crazy.
Yeah. And even my dad loved him. My dad was the biggest Hulk Hogan fan on the planet till Goldberg showed up. Then he's like, that's my new guy. That's my new guy. I remember the date. It was actually, ironically, the same night that Chris Jericho debuted in WWE was the night that Hogan in WCW went back to the red and yellow, and they had a 6-man tag, and it was Kevin Nash, Sid Vicious, and Rick Steiner versus Hulk Hogan, Sting, and Goldberg. I didn't even see Jericho's debut because I was glued to the screen to see those 3 guys in the ring together. Like Goldberg, when Goldberg came out, you knew it was on. Like that guy just, to me, is one of the biggest stars ever. And to see him in this game, and I hope it's what you said. I hope we get to go through all the matches in his streak, and your goal is just to win or take people down or whatever. Like, I don't know what they do with Goldberg, but I would love to see that. Compete through all the matches, and then till you get to the Kevin Nash loss.
There's a problem with them saying if you're playing online, there's a lot of good people play with Goldberg. I was like, a whole bunch of people just like geniuses with Goldberg, you know? Well, here's the problem. Like, you guys keep saying, oh, we have to play through the streak with Goldberg. If Goldberg is a pre-order bonus, you're not getting him in the main game.
Well, I don't know if he's a pre-order. Did it say he was a pre-order bonus, or did they say he was in the game?
Sting was a pre-order bonus.
Okay. Well, I hope he's in the main game.
I guess it's where it goes. Now, when 2K16 came out, Sting was in the main game. At least one version of him was. But yeah, you're not going to be getting a whole package of Goldberg in the main game. I'm telling you right now. Yeah, that's true. I mean, like, the thing is, with these DLCs, it's not almost pointless because in a way, you just get it from the character creations, and sometimes the character creations look way better than the ones that the DLC pumps out from 2K. Sometimes, yeah, you're right. I mean, that's just the way of the beast, man. You give somebody options to make a character. You want to have people on there because, us have jobs, so we sit there and try to make as much characters or whatever we can in our spare time. There's kids out there without jobs who love wrestling. They sit there all
90 seconds.
That's all right, man. And I've seen some of those people create, like, the best one I saw, somebody went in and actually created Brock Lesnar's back tattoo. Like, it took like 30 pieces on his back just to make that tattoo. Yeah, they have a lot of time and patience. I used to have that time and patience before, but, through the years, you kind of like, don't spend so much time. You mostly just work on your character and try to make your character the best there is,
60 seconds.
So yeah, I mean, that's what's going to come out now. But I mean, I'm looking at this like the biggest advantage of the DLC is you get the move sets, certain moves that you didn't have before. Yeah, I hate that. I mean, I buy that season pass because I like the wrestling game and I want to have everything. But I'm really getting sick of this whole DLC. It's like they don't complete the game. It's like you buy the game and then within like a month or two, come out with the fucking DLC. I was like, come on, man. Like, can't you just put it with the game, like do a free DLC, but they had to make that money. I mean, 2K series is notorious for it. If you play basketball, if your character is first look, did you see the Mortal Kombat games, man?
10 seconds.
Mortal Kombat's terrible about it. You're paying $5 a character. Yeah, it's like, hey, want to play with Predator? Why? Because he has an awesome fatality and he fights pretty good. You don't know that until you fucking buy the game. It's like, oh man, I should have got Predator. I should have got fucking Freddy or Jason. What the hell? I've got Jason because I paid once the price went down for the first combat pack. It dropped from $20 to $10. I bought it for $10. Got 4 characters. Oh, nice, dude. That's a good deal. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm probably gonna do that with Combat Pack 2 once the price goes down again. But
all right, guys.
It's like out there, I will wait shit out. But yeah, that's 2K is not near as bad as like Mortal Kombat or most of these fucking. All right, well, boys, I'm gonna let you go. I'm going back for my lunch break. But it's nice chatting with you guys.
All right, man.
All right, later.
All right, see you. All right, and that, ladies and gentlemen, was Elvis Delinsky, the third musketeer of the BOOCHCAST. And what I was trying to say was I've been reading up on this, and then we're going to jump right back to the Raw recap. I'm reading that according to this, it says that Goldberg, it's safe to assume Goldberg will use beyond a mere addition to the game's roster. He said there might be a mode that challenges gamers to beat his record. Like he had the Un-73-0. There might be a challenge in the game, in this career mode, where you might try to beat his record of 173 wins. Like you got to get up to that 173, 174 before losing a match. And that way you could beat Goldberg's record. And then they said that
It'll be a whole same moment type thing, yeah.
Yeah, and then they also say that the two classic arenas that we're getting are WCW Nitro and Halloween Havoc. Those are the two we're going to get. And it also says that Goldberg had a lot of impressive, since Goldberg built a legacy in WCW, even though he had a brief stint in WWE, there's a possibility we could see guys like Perry Saturn, like Scott Steiner, or Buff Bagwell, or other WCW wrestlers added to the 2K roster. We could see a lot of WCW stars that normally have never appeared in a 2K game be added to the roster just to fill out Goldberg's career.
Yeah, I would love to see a WCW story mode. That would be fucking fantastic. And I love, and more, as much as I would love to see that, I'm still more focused on what they're going to do with the aesthetics of the actual arena and the career mode. I want to see what they do to make the career mode better.
Absolutely. So do I. And we're definitely going to find out more about it. We'll get more information as the story progresses and as the game is going to be released. And what we're going to do now is we're going to jump back to the Raw recap, and we go where we left off was just with Gallows and Anderson having an interview. Well, after that, we cut to the backstage area, and we see Apollo Crews working out, getting ready, and when all of a sudden, Apollo Crews is greeted by the Superstar. And the last time Apollo Crews was greeted by a Superstar, he got jumped by Sheamus. So he immediately pops up to his feet to confront the next guy that wants to that is approaching him in the locker room.
What? You got a problem with the new era too? I think we're over their attitude there. It's all the same to me. I've been knocking people out since Jurassic era. I mean, yeah, you might want to have sex anyway. I really appreciate it. I'm sure the R's kicking you want to give. All right. You're 100% right about that. You know, I don't even know why you picked on me. But I'll tell you what, so he's going to regret it. Oh, I like you. I mean, I like you. I don't like you in the way like you come on my bus, you know, with my friends and watch, you know, all the episodes right along. You know, like, you got potential, you know, when you got determination, you got grit. You know, kind of like Sheamus, you know, right now, he's in panic mode. You know, he doesn't want to hit this new era is a threat to him. So he's going to claw, scratch, dig, and do everything he can to keep his status quo the same. Sheamus is like, that's what boys do. An amazing change picked on you to get you let down. The question is, are you?
All right. I think it's safe to say that the answer to that question is a no.
All right, give me one moment. I'm gonna mute myself here. I gotta talk to my mama.
Oh, wait. Okay, I'll put you on hold, but don't hang up, because if you do, you won't be able to call back in. Okay. All right, so Desmond's taking care of some business, so I'll just say here that I think that Apollo Crews, obviously, he's not going to back down from Sheamus, and as well he shouldn't. And I like this because it's going to be a very interesting feud that we could see develop, that we could see happen, that we could see work in that regard. And what I believe is I could see a rivalry brewing between Apollo Crews and Sheamus. I like it. It's the new era coming up, and the old era is trying to push it back down. You got to have that fight. You got to have that adversity. You got to have that moment, because you can't just let the new era pop up and just plow through everybody. There's got to be some adversity to it, or at least some heels that aren't down with it, because then that way it creates more tension, it creates more entertainment, and it makes things happen in a better and more unique way. And I think that that is something that will help out in the long run. It can help Apollo Crews, and it can help also the WWE. So we definitely have something there that can help out. And okay, Desmond is Facebooking. He wants to come back. Hi, welcome back.
Hey, I told you I was gonna mute myself. I can do that.
I forgot. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll mute myself so you don't have to hear what's going on in my phone. I do it when I go to the bathroom when I'm talking to you.
TMI.
But anyway, yeah, I absolutely Big Show, because like Big Show said, he can be the good guy, he can be the bad guy. He's got that versatility. He's been in the company long enough that it doesn't matter what he does. But I love how he made that appearance. Like Apollo stood up, he was ready to fight. Like he knew that he fought, he was his ass kicked, but he was ready to fight anyway. He's not backing down. And I absolutely love how they're playing.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And of course, after all of this, the Golden Truth makes their way to the ring to their remix song for the new tag team. And it turns out they're going to be on commentary, because we move on to the next match of the night, which involves a tag team that Desmond mentioned earlier. It's the Usos versus Breezango.
Yeah, look again, I would not mind separating that team. But no, I'm picking on them. I do, but I do take issue with the fact they lost this match. Not because I like the Usos, because I'm not. I love the Usos. They're fun to watch. They're exactly the kind of tag team that I like to see in the ring. But Breezango are a new team. I know they won their first two matches, but they need to keep winning to have any kind of credibility. So if this is a one-time loss, it's okay, but they can't keep losing.
They can't. Definitely not. And from the way they've remixed their entrances, it looks like they're going to stay a tag team. Because I don't think WWE would go through all the trouble of remixing their songs or giving them this entrance if they were just going to stick together for a week. So it looks like this is a tag team that's in it for the long haul. And I think because of that, they definitely need to start getting a few more victories under their belt.
Yeah. And, this was. I think that having them
feud, they're having a feud with the Golden Truth, and the Golden Truth, have not had that string of luck yet. They're still working on getting their chakras together.
Get tight.
But yeah, exactly. But no, they're working on getting everything together, and so I think having a feud against each other like they are, it's a good thing to make the Breezango lose a match, so they're not, so they're a little bit closer to the same kind of a setup that the Golden Truth are. You don't want to have one team that's constantly winning go against another team that's constantly losing. It takes away any credibility.
I see.
The way I look at it is, now, obviously Golden Truth have to get a couple wins under the belt, but they're working this the right way where each match they get a little bit better. They're making it look like, hey, yeah, we got some kinks, we'll fix it. Whereas Breezango they got this shit together where they started out really good, and now you're starting to actually see there are a couple kinks in their armor.
Absolutely. I like that. And I think that's definitely going to work. It's a good idea. And it needs to happen for the tag team division because the Usos are already established. So giving them another victory does nothing for the tag team division.
That's exactly what I'm saying. At the same time, we did need to see if there's a couple kinks in the armor of Breezango. So one loss against an already established tag team doesn't kill them either.
Yeah. And on that note, we move on to the next segment where we got Roman Reigns on his way to the ring. And as we all know, it was announced last week, Roman Reigns will face Seth Rollins. Title, Roman Reigns defending the gold. He comes out to a very light mixed reaction from this crowd. And, so Roman's still getting booed, but not as strong as he would in other towns. And he steps into the ring, and here's what he has to say about stepping into the ring with his former Shield brother, Seth Rollins.
3 years ago, Seth Rollins sold out and he broke up the Shield. And ever since that point, he's called himself the Man. Yeah, it's funny to me. How can you call yourself the Man if you're constantly running from the guy? And I've said it before, I'm not a good guy, I'm not a bad guy. Because as long as this is on my shoulder, I am the guy. So if you think you're the man, Seth, come on out here and prove it.
Yes. Now, just so you guys know, I'm stopping the clip right there because Seth Rollins ends up not talking or doing anything. So, since nothing happens, I just cut it off right there.
Yeah, this was the most underwhelming of the night. The only thing good about it was it did show Seth is still a heel, and Reigns is still playing the face of the moment. Even he's really playing a very close to it in a heel gimmick.
Yeah.
He's still playing face in this rivalry, which I can't. I hope this leads to a double turn. I want to see Seth go face and Roman go forward.
I mean, it is possible. It is possible. In fact, if you want a double turn, I think I know the best way to do it. Here's what happens. You got Roman and Seth in the ring. At some point, they're like, It's like both men are down. They're both trying to get up. And what you do is you have Triple H come back. And Triple H comes out to the ring, and he's got and he's not in the corporate suit. He's dressed the way he normally is. Maybe not the jacket, but at least the t-shirt, the jeans. He's got the sledgehammer in his hand. He comes down to the ring, and everybody's going crazy. And he gets in the ring. He stares down Roman Reigns. The second Seth Rollins gets up, Triple H turns around. Boom! He hits Seth with that sledgehammer. And just straight up knocks him out. And then Roman Reigns covers Seth Rollins. Triple H throws back in the referee. Counts to 3. Roman's the champion. And Triple H and Roman walk out together, and Seth is just there in shock. That's the only way I see a double turn happening.
I don't know. I think what could another possibility here. We see Seth. Obviously, he's going to start working on his own. He doesn't have the authority backing. He doesn't have a team backing him right now. So the more stuff he does on his own, the more like he's going to become, and the more humble we might end up finally seeing him become.
Yeah.
Now, here's what happened. We get a moment where Seth maybe starts his let's say Seth loses this title match that they're having at Money in the Bank. He's officially lost his title to Roman Reigns. He builds his way back up, but when the number one contendership match happens, we have Roman Reigns sitting there watching the number one contendership match. He's sitting there pretending like he doesn't care who wins. He's being the face, being the good guy. And suddenly, it's like something happens. The ref's out. Rollins is outside the ring. He gets up, and the ref gets up. We see Roman Reigns spear. He just start beating the hell out of Rollins. And right there, we see officially it is everything against Rollins, just like it was everything against Daniel Bryan, just like it was everybody against fucking John Cena. When he was becoming popular, you had everybody against him. He has to fight his way to the top. He's got that face turn. He was like, I fought my way to the top. I've earned my spot. And now everybody's against me. And the only people here who seem to support me are these people. That's when he's like, you guys were completely against me. It's like when I had the title, but no one's backed me more than you do now. And then of course, that's when I said we've already been seeing a slow burn heel turn from Reigns. So that's just when he went full heel. So that's not even a big jump for him.
Yeah, but that also means that they would have to find some way storyline-wise to make Seth Rollins kind of, repent for burning all their flowers and not reading any of their letters. Like, they got to write around that too.
Yeah, they could do it a lot like how The Rock did. Because when The Rock went face for the first time, it wasn't suddenly, okay, let's sing along with The Rock. He just stopped attacking the fan and slowly worked to the point where he was going with the fans.
Okay. I guess those are scenarios that could work, and we'll see which direction they go with. But on that note, we're going to move on to the next match of the night, and this is the match we got right here. It is, of course, a short match and a little disappointing for me. Rusev versus Zack Ryder.
There is one thing about this match that I like. Because the match itself was garbage. It was too short. There was no storytelling.
the match itself was garbage.
Yes.
But I do like that when Rusev put on the accolade, he once again did that full, I'm pulling him all the way back accolade. It's no longer just a normal camel clutch. He's got that full torque accolade. And I love that version so much better than I do the original.
Yeah, now he's starting to viciously bend those people back.
So, that is the one thing that I like about this match.
Me too. I like it because it makes the move his own.
Yeah, this right here showed that Rusev is the champion. And I love how Rusev went out there saying, "I am a real American." The way he went about it was fucking. I am the American dream. I am everything. He's sitting there saying, basically, I immigrated here. Now I'm champion. I am the real American. This is exactly what America was for. But he's doing it in such a way that makes people absolutely hate him.
Yeah, he's not. So in a way, he's not bashing America. Or it's like he is, but he's not at the same time.
He's bashing the American people, but not the American values.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
and
brilliant.
Yes, and if you want an idea of how that happened, I have an audio clip of it right here that I'm going to play. This is Rusev talking after his victory over Zack Ryder.
Zack Ryder, he's just like every other American. You think you are entitled of everything, even after you lost everything. I am what Americans should be all about. I am a true American hero because I'm better American than you. And all of your tea, covering tea, whatever you call yourself, Americans these days. Rusev, you have thunder. You calling yourself a great American? Oh my God. Who are you talking? Great Americans fight for what they believe in. We fight. You know what? I don't believe you some Bulgarian brute. You're more of a Bulgarian blowhard. Oh, yeah.
Well, one small push for Rusev, one giant push for Titus O'Neil.
This is the first time I've actually seen Titus O'Neil and felt like he could go solo. Because I've absolutely hated him as a solo star before this.
Oh, me
This
too.
was perfect for him.
Yes, it's like
this is brilliant.
yeah.
And I don't think the way Rusev went at this, he said, I am what America should be about. And it was brilliant because he's not bashing the American values, just the American people who abuse them.
Yeah.
It is a perfect way to make to act all patriotic, but still bash the people. It was perfect, and you could not play a better than that right there.
I know. I got a whole newfound respect as a performer for Rusev after seeing that. Like, wow. And it's interesting because I think Titus O'Neil could be the next United States champion. I could see him taking the belt off of Rusev. I could see them in a feud going into Money in the Bank.
I would love to see it. And I would love to see these two continue to go at it, feuding for the title belt. Because right now, we talked about it. I don't know if it was last week or the week before, but we are seeing promos, great fucking promos from people we've never seen a good promo from. I mean, we just saw obviously this one here with Rusev and Titus O'Neil, and we saw that one last week or the week before when fucking Seth Rollins returned and cut that fucking phenomenal promo. I mean, we are seeing great fucking promos. Like, where the fuck is this coming from? And I think I figured out why Seth Rollins didn't talk last night.
Why?
Think about it. Well, I said, think about it. It took him all those months for him to get a good promo worked up. He couldn't come up with another one in just a week or two.
He's like, fuck it, I'm not going to be able to follow that.
Give me some time to write something down here. Practice in the mirror for a couple of days. I mean,
Look, I just got back from knee surgery. It took me that long to come up with that shit. Brilliant.
Yeah.
I love it.
All in all.
All right. And
That made me feel.
that made me feel good. I love that. That's the.
But yeah, we're seeing great promos from people we've never seen great promos from, and that really, really makes me have high hopes for the future of WWE.
Oh yeah. And speaking of great promos, and we're going to touch on this very briefly because it's another clip I want to play because of how far it is. So we're going to talk about this for maybe a minute or two tops. But this clip's about 54 seconds long. Then I got another one that's about 15. So I want to play that one next. But speaking of great promos, in addition to Seth Rollins, another person who normally cuts terrible promos that we saw a great one from last week was Charlotte when she turned on her dad and kicked her out of the ring. Now, they had some wrestlers giving their thoughts on it. I don't have a clip of that because a lot of it was pretty much everyone saying the same thing. But then Charlotte's walking backstage and she gets confronted by Stephanie McMahon. Charlotte, who is pretty much the women's champion, ushering in the new era of women's wrestling, and Stephanie, who clamored for it and was the one that called Charlotte up to be part of this. Well, apparently there's a lot of people that are not happy with what Charlotte said about her father. And even Stephanie, who slapped her father in the face, had this to say.
Drive yourself after what happened last week? Absolutely. Kicking your dad out of the ring, you left him here. You made an impact. Well, you made an impact, all right. I have to say, I'm embarrassed to have you as our women's champion. I'm embarrassed that you are representing the women of WWE. You are a spoiled, selfish, self-important brat coming from you. Have no idea what you are talking about or who you're talking to. So step back and shut your mouth. You're not a champion. You're just a waste of time.
Stephanie McMahon, I love you. I think I'm in love.
This was fucking brilliant. I absolutely love this because the entire time I'm sitting here thinking, you could almost say those exact same words for Stephanie.
Yeah. Because, well, the thing is, back in the Attitude Era, that's what Stephanie was, the brat. When she was married to Triple H and the McMahon-Helmsley faction, she practically was the billion-dollar princess brat. So that's why Sean was about to say, coming from you.
Yeah, look, she is like, you were handed this company. I mean, it's like, you're running this place on your daddy's power. It's
Exactly.
Like, come on, you really want to sit there and talk? I love, like, so it was brilliant. I love how Stephanie did that, but she did it like, with the way Stephanie's always like, yeah, but I didn't make a legend cry in the middle of the ring and kick him out.
Yeah. The worst thing that Stephanie did as a brat was the one time she slapped her mother. That's the worst thing she did.
Yeah. You know, let's be honest, Linda was no saint either.
Well, that's only because, well, she was a saint to us. I mean, when the McMahons were heels, Linda was the voice of reason until the one brief heel turn she had where she kicked JR in the nuts. That's it. That lasted maybe a week, and then she was off TV permanently.
Yeah. So, long story short, it was a great. And it was fun watching Stephanie tell off Charlotte, and I'm really enjoying the route that. I have really high hopes for WWE the way things are going right now.
Yeah, and we're hoping that it's only a matter of time before the women's title comes off of Charlotte. Although, unfortunately, according to the rumors on the internet, if they're true, it's not going to happen till SummerSlam. So this pay-per-view and the next one, we're going to have to sit through more of Charlotte as champion because I think they're waiting till SummerSlam where they expect the boss, Sasha Banks, to beat her. So, well, I assume we're going to find out.
When are they planning on bringing her back? Because she can't just come in and, I've got a match. It's a return match. And I'm getting for my title.
Well, she's recovering from injury. Well, she got injured because she got accident. Here's what happened. A referee gave her a concussion.
Wait, what?
Yeah. You know how sometimes when a wrestler goes for a pinfall, sometimes the referee slides. They do like a little baseball slide to get on the ground faster to count to 3. You've seen that, right?
Yeah.
Well, apparently when one of the ref did his slide, his knee connected with Sasha's head. He was coming down so fast, his knee went boom right on the top noggin of Sasha's head, and it got her all dizzy. But it was a freak accident, so the ref's not in trouble because Sasha's not extremely hurt, but it was a freak accident.
I'm not so sure I would have, as WWE, I'm not sure I would have made that public knowledge.
They didn't.
Here's why.
They didn't. It was somebody leaked it. It was one of those dirt sheet sites. They did some digging.
You realize how weak that makes Sasha look? Not only did you get injured, but you weren't even injured by a real superstar. You got knocked out by the.
Well, that's why they're not making it public. Somebody had to do some. That was journalistic digging.
Oh, God damn.
Yeah, so that's what happened. But apparently they're also planning to keep her off TV until they're ready to build that rivalry back up. So I think sometime after Battleground is when we'll see her again, and then they'll start building the story to SummerSlam. Apparently.
I guess we'll see.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But anyway, folks, I see the time we got left, so we're going to jump around the list a little bit. because there's a big major segment that's really, really long, and I want to make sure we get it in. And this is, of course, the return of John Cena to Monday Night Raw. Cena comes out, gets a pretty decent reaction from the crowd in Green Bay. John Cena steps into the ring. The crowd is chanting, "Welcome back, welcome back." They seem to be very happy to see him. And that's why I'm glad this was in Green Bay, Wisconsin. You're going to find out why I'm glad, because if this had been in one of the mark towns like New York, Chicago, they would have shat all over what you're about to witness. But this is one of the best segments in Raw history. John takes the mic, and here's what he has to say about officially being back home in the WWE.
Let every nation know, whether they wish us well or ill, that we will pay any price, we will bear any burden, we will meet any hardship, we will support any friend, we will oppose any foe, to assure the survival and the success of liberty. Many brave pros were fallen, proving those words to be absolutely true. Memorial Day is a celebration of that sacrifice. I am very grateful to finally be back home. But on this day, it is with the utmost respect that I honor the friends, the families, and most importantly, the heroes who have paid the ultimate price to keep our liberty intact. Liberty is freedom, and freedom is our pulse. It is our lifeblood. It is what drives us. It is what makes us feel. Freedom means you can feel however you want. You can dress how you want, look how you want, listen to your music, stand at the top of your chair, and scream at the top of your lungs. It is freedom that lets you plant these 2 feet right here and stay locked in time. I am back on Monday Night Raw. But now that poses a whole new question, doesn't it? The question is now, do I still belong here? But in my absence, a new era has arrived. Which means new names, which means new faces, and every one of those names and faces is thinking the same damn thing. That my best days are behind me, and it's only a matter of time before they move up, and I move up. So let's get real with it. New era, old era, golden era, roaring 20s, Ming Dynasty. The only era that's happening is the one in judgment from the new names and the new faces that think I will just roll over and go away. I will not go quietly into the night. If the future is indeed upon us, will the face that runs the place stand there? The future, damn sure, must go through me. in the arena. He broke it off of his best friend, Anderson Gallows. The style here tonight in the second ring with John Cena. John Cena. Good arena. For this moment for a long time. This would have been so had everyone else. I will say this though, you kind of got kind of a bad rep. And I don't really understand that. Hear me out. I've always been told you were the first man to get to the arena and the last one to leave. I've seen what you've done in this ring. You've busted your tail day in and day out. And the things that you have done outside this ring for this company is unheard of. Here's the thing. I know we've been in two different worlds, but here we are right now in this very ring. With that said, I respect your hard work. I do. I respect you. And I'm sure the rest of the locker room, so do they. I just want to come out here and be one of the first to say, welcome back. We agreed to go our separate ways. And you saw the way that we went earlier with the New Day. And now, it looks like the way that you're going is sucking up with John Cena. I thought that was beneath you, but apparently not. See, unlike you, we're not here to kiss ass. We're here to kick it. And AJ Styles, that's yours included. Oh my God, Anderson and Gallows. What is wrong with these two? They're going to make names for themselves, and what a better way to do it than John Cena and AJ Styles do his big return. You come down and challenge John Cena for a second. Cena, welcome back to Monday Night Raw. Go through B. Challenge and ass action to these figures here. The clock made its point. Cena's helpless.
Now that is history. That is the greatest segment I have ever seen on a Monday Night Raw and forever. John Cena and AJ Styles, the poster boy of WWE, the poster boy of TNA, the cash cow of Vince McMahon, the cash cow of Dixie Carter, in the ring at the same time. And the crowd chanting, "Let's go Cena, AJ Styles." That's why I loved Green Bay. That is how you chant. That is how you get someone over. No Cena sucks. None of that shit. You should know by now, chanting that the other person sucks doesn't help your cause. You chant AJ's name to establish him as an equal to John Cena. That is a WWE crowd that knows how to do it right. And that's why I'm glad it was there and not in New York City and not in Chicago and not in Pittsburgh and not in Philadelphia, because they would have fucked it up. They would have fucked up this segment just to express hatred and disdain towards one person, and they would use it to fuck up a historic moment in all of professional wrestling. And of course, the heel turn from AJ Styles, didn't see that coming. It was amazing. And AJ knows how to play a heel well. And the club is a great heel faction. So now we got a rivalry between Cena and Styles, which is a dream match. That's a WrestleMania match right there. And we're probably going to see it at Money in the Bank. Now, here's what I want to see happen in this match. At Money in the Bank, I want AJ Styles to win. Then you go to Battleground. John Cena wins at Battleground. Then you go to SummerSlam for the rubber match at the Barclays. Styles should win. But you got to give Cena at least one victory to keep that rivalry going. 1, 1, 3. It's the rule of 3. You make it happen. You give it that, they call it the 50-50 booking. Just go 1, 1, boom. You make it happen. Because these, and regardless who wins the rivalry, these guys are going to put on a classic. Cena's at the top of his wrestling game. Styles has always been an amazing, incredible competitor. And now we're going to see him at his absolute best in the ring. Now, obviously, you're not listening to Desmond. Desmond got cut off. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wrap up because I only got about 5 minutes on Blog Talk left. So I'm going to go through a quick thing for the Blog Talk listeners. I'm going to call Desmond back, bring him up here on the YouTube video, and be able to let him go in that regard. Because unfortunately, Blog Talk Radio only lets me do so much. I got to work within their parameters, so I got to do the best I can. So with only 4 minutes left, I'm going to jump through and kind of give the quick notes, and the audio clips from Raw I'll play sporadically throughout the show if I feel they're worthy of playing. So basically we have, I'm going to jump back a little bit. This was after the Stephanie Charlotte segment. We had Enzo Amore and Big Cass versus the Dudley Boys. Fantastic match. Enzo is now officially back in the ring, medically cleared to wrestle. They win with the rocket launcher for the victory. Great match. Look forward to seeing this rivalry come to a head at Money in the Bank. And then I want to see Enzo and Cass on the fast track to the tag team titles. I feel like they need to become tag team champions. Whether it happens at Battleground or SummerSlam, We need to see Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy with those tag team belts because they are currently the most over tag team. I played the clip of their entrance, but don't have the time. So then after that was the Cena moment. Then we had Natalya versus Dana Brooke. Relatively short match. Charlotte distracts. Dana gets the victory. I like the fact that Dana got the victory, but I'm not happy with the fact that A, it was a short match, B, Charlotte was involved, and C, I don't like the fact that when Dana Brooke came out, they had her music, but then they played Charlotte's music when they walked to the ring for Dana's match. I didn't like that. I feel that it devalues Dana Brooke, and Charlotte can just walk out with her. But it devalues Dana Brooke. It makes it seem like she's not important enough to have her own entrance music for her own match. I thought that was stupid. They don't even do that when she's teaming with Emma. So I thought that was dumb. I feel like they're disrespecting Dana Brooke just to pass up Charlotte, who at this point, nobody fucking likes. Then, after that, Dolph Ziggler does an interview about having his technical wrestling match, and Jericho has 1,004 holds, Ziggler has 1,005. He pays tribute to the Jericho program 20 years ago and walks off. Then he has the match, Ziggler versus Corbin, which ends very quickly because Ziggler just circles around, kicks Baron Corbin in the nuts, and walks out to get revenge for Baron Corbin. He goes, and then Ziggler says, I've been disqualified, but the loser is still Baron Corbin. It was funny. It was entertaining. Did what he needed to do to further the rivalry. Then we had the main event, Dean Ambrose, Cesaro, and Sami Zayn versus Del Rio, Kevin Owens, and Chris Jericho. Awesome six-man tag match. Great back-and-forth action. Apparently, they're going to be the only two men in this Money in the Bank. I mean, there's going to be only 6 men in this Money in the Bank. There's not going to be a 7th one. Great main event. Ambrose, Cesaro, and Sami win in the end. Great high spots. Great back-and-forth action. These 6 guys are going to put on one hell of a match. All right. That, ladies and gentlemen, will wrap up this episode of the BOOCHCAST for today. I want to thank everybody so much for tuning in live. I want to thank everybody listening to the archives.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio.
Good night.
Goodbye.
All right. Well, I had to go through that speed moment with Blog Talk Radio. Took care of what I needed to take care of there. I'm going to do something real quick here for the YouTube listeners. I am back on with Desmond. I'm going to get Desmond back on here in just a moment. And just need to get a hold of him. We'll just figure this out right here, and boom. So we're calling him right now.
Hey, Vinny.
Hey, Desmond. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, like I said before, the Blog Talk show just wrapped up. We're still live here on YouTube. Desmond got disconnected. Brother, we got you back on the air, man.
Yeah, absolutely. What do we need to speak of?
I believe you got cut off during the segment with John Cena and AJ Styles.
That we did. And now, here's the thing. I watched Raw this morning. And my stupid ass decided to get on Facebook this morning while watching Raw. So actually right before, as John Cena was coming out, I saw a post that said that moment when how I looked when AJ Styles went heel. And I stopped. I looked at this post like, shit. But there's my spoiler for the match. For the show. And so I knew it was coming, unfortunately. But it was so well played out. I mean, they both sat there and looked like they were going to fight the club, and the club pulled off it was a good setup. You know, like, you're such a joke. We went out here and made an impact. You're going to come out here and kiss ass. And they pulled it off so well. It's like I said, though, when we were talking about the thing earlier with Cena not being 100%, he took one punch, went straight down, and just let them wail on him. He sat there and he didn't do anything that was over strenuous.
That's what makes me believe that it's very, very possible that he's not 100% yet.
Yeah.
That beating. He just went and took the beating.
Yeah. And and then that, because like they said, he's only 70% healed, so there's a chance that hopefully by Money in the Bank, he'll be at least close to 100.
Yep. And all he has to do is hype shit up for now. Until that point gets there, he can hype all he wants.
Yeah.
And you know, the whole point of this is to take AJ Styles away from the title picture so that we can have our Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns match. That's the only reason that they're even setting up AJ Styles versus John Cena right now.
Yeah. And plus, it's a dream match because, and I talked about this earlier, the crowd, when Styles hit that ring, and you see, when Styles and Cena were just in the ring, just the two of them, the crowd reaction was,
let's go Cena, AJ Styles, let's go Cena, AJ Styles. You thought it was a fucking WrestleMania match.
Yeah. And this is why I love the Green Bay crowd so much, because they did it right. Because if this had been done in New York or Philadelphia or Pittsburgh or Chicago, they would have ignored the fact that Styles was there and too busy telling Cena to go fuck himself.
It might have been something like AJ Styles, Cena sucks.
Maybe. I don't think they're smart enough to pull that off. It would have been I honestly believe it would have been a let's go Cena sucks moment, and Styles would have been just standing there.
Yeah, it's very possible.
So that's why I love Green Bay. They showed love to the guy they wanted to, and they made them equals, even though they already are. The fans established that.
Yeah, this was, all in all, this is the heel turn that, AJ Styles has been building to anyway. And I'm really, really hoping to see something great come of this. Now I'm just wondering, because we've still got the Balor Club stuff being sold, what the hell are they going to do when Finn Balor comes up?
I don't know. Probably, I don't know. Maybe Balor might come up and try to take control of the club, and Styles may have a problem with that. And you might see Gallows and Anderson, they might be torn between the two, because it's still going to be a while before we see Balor. Because, like we said, we still got, I think it's next Wednesday. 1 week from tomorrow is NXT TakeOver the End, where he's supposed to be in the steel cage with Samoa Joe. And that's supposed to be the swan song of Balor, where Samoa Joe is going to win and dominate, and Balor is going to be taking off NXT, or at least real close to it. So I don't know when he's going to get called up, but I think when he does, it's going to be a moment where Styles and Balor are going to fight for control. They might do something where Balor might wrestle a couple dark matches in the meantime, just to get the live audience somewhat familiar with him, and then bring him in.
At this point, NXT is so popular that most of the crowd knows the NXT stars when they show up. And that's something I'm really happy about.
Yeah. But there's still that risk that some fans might not know. So they might try to do something like that just to get some people familiar, and then bring him in when the time is right. And that's when they're probably going to change the name from the club to the Balor Club once he shows up.
Yeah. I'm just worried. It's what's the what? Are we going to see another face turn from AJ if he ends up running the club? If Balor ends up running the club, because you can't have two leaders.
Yeah, it might be something where they have to choose, and then Styles is going to get kicked out of the club, because they kicked Styles when Styles left New Japan to come to WWE. They kicked him out of the Bullet Club. He got jumped by the Bullet Club, before leaving to come to WWE. That's how they wrote him out. So there's a chance that WWE might pick up on that and do that again.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see. It would be very interesting because we all know how I feel about people jumping back and forth so quickly about being heel and face. And we know Balor is, I mean, like you said, we're getting close to the end of Balor's run in NXT.
Yeah. And he's a babyface down there already. So for him to turn heel on the main roster could work because Balor's really good at playing a heel.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Balor can play whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see how this turns out.
I am too, man. It's going to be awesome, man. So what we're going to do now is, since we've already talked about, what we're going to jump back a little bit in the show. And because before that, we talked about Stephanie and Charlotte. So after that was the tag team match. And I have no access to audio clips now, so we're just going to go on through. And we have Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy against the Dudley Boys.
Am I the only one bothered that Enzo and Cass got a smooth victory over the Dudleys before the pay-per-view?
When you say before the pay-per-view, that I can agree with.
I think right now there should be more unfinished matches. There should be more the Dudleys doing something dastardly and getting a cheap victory or disqualifications or stuff like that.
Yeah.
I hate watching the build to a great match, but they've already beaten them.
Yeah, that is actually true. I didn't think of that actually, but that's a very good point.
It takes away from the necessity of the match at the pay-per-view. It's like, look, we've already beaten you clean. Hell, Cass beat you clean on his own.
Exactly. I mean, I don't know how much more of this they can really do at this point.
I mean, as much as I love Big Cass and Enzo, the only way to make this okay is if the Dudleys win at the pay-per-view.
Yeah. And I believe that the only way Enzo and Cass could get a victory and have it make any sense, I know this kind of goes against what the Dudleys heel turn was about, but they've already made that exception at WrestleMania. You got to make it a tables match.
Well,
to at least make it different.
Or I don't know about that, but I mean, there has to be something bigger on the line. And look, I mean, the Dudleys need a victory. They've been losing way too much. And fuck, I mean, Cass and Enzo have been dominating this rivalry. The only way to make that okay is if the Dudleys end up winning the rivalry with the big match.
I mean, in a way, the Marks are getting what they want because the Dudleys have yet to get any victory. I know, it's almost like if they have a pay-per-view match, it's just going to be a match. There's nothing special going on anymore with this.
So, thus is the situation. You know, WWE has not been very kind to the legends as of late. So I don't know why we would expect anything different. But still pisses me off.
Me too. And of course, right after Enzo and Cass was the thing with John Cena, so we're going to skip over that. And after that, we move on to the next match of the night, if you want to call it that. We have Natalya versus Dana Brooke.
Okay, watched and missed it.
Okay. Basically, Natalya and Dana were barely doing anything. Basically, a couple clotheslines, a suplex, a chokehold, whatever. Then then the referee gets distracted. Charlotte slaps Natalya in the face. Dana hits a cartwheel splash, fights her off, goes for the sharpshooter. Charlotte gets on the apron for the distraction. Natalya knocks Charlotte off the apron, and then Dana hits the Michinoku driver and gets the win.
See, I thought the match ended before it ever got started because, as I said, I looked away for like 2 seconds and the match was done.
Yeah. Basically, this match was exactly the way Divas matches were prior to the Revolution. It was a quick match where nobody benefited from it. And I had a big issue with this, and I want to know if you agree with me on this, because this, for some reason, this irked me more than the match. Dana Brooke comes out to the ring. They're playing her music. All of a sudden, Charlotte's music plays, and they both walk to the ring to Charlotte's music. And she's not even in the match.
I mean, they are pretty much using Dana Brooke as Charlotte's enforcer.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Dana's the one wrestling, but yet she can't come to the ring to her entrance music.
I think they literally just did that just to enforce that Dana is Charlotte's enforcer.
Yeah.
They're putting, that's what matters right now. She's doing this for Charlotte.
But that still makes no sense. Diesel was a bodyguard for Shawn Michaels and got to come out to his music. Even when Dana and Emma were a team, if Dana was the one wrestling, her music played.
But Dana and Emma were a team. Period. One wasn't giving all the orders.
That bothered me. I don't care if she's a bodyguard or enforcer or not. If Dana's the one wrestling, her music should be played.
Well, it was for a bit.
Yeah, and then they walked to the ring to Charlotte's music. I thought that was stupid. I hated that. I really hated that.
All that really matters to me is that Becky Lynch came back with a vengeance.
Yes. So now it looks like we're going to see Becky Lynch and Natalya against Charlotte and Dana Brooke, which might allow them. I could see that being a Divas tag match at the pay-per-view and possibly killing time again till the boss, Sasha Banks, makes her return.
See, I'm just sitting here still hoping that means that we'll see Becky Lynch have a real title shot.
Hopefully.
That's all. I want Becky Lynch to have the title. I really want Becky Lynch to have the title.
Oh, time will tell if we see that. And then of course after that we have the interview with Dolph Ziggler, which I obviously can't play. And then we move on to the next match of the night, which somehow managed to be even quicker than the Divas match. And that was Baron Corbin versus Dolph Ziggler.
Can I just applaud Dolph Ziggler in this one? This made me smile. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I grimaced for half a second watching it.
as all guys do when someone gets kicked in the balls. That's like a universal thing amongst guys. Even if we don't like somebody, you see another dude get kicked in the balls, you automatically wince and you grab yourself as if it just happened to you. It's like it's a universal pain that we as men can all feel, and I don't know why.
Yeah, it's like we're sitting there like I hope you step on a leg. Oh, that's harsh. I hope you get kicked in the balls. Hey, that's going too far.
Yeah, dude, that's no. It's like, dude, at least dude, at least you could literally say, "I will chop your damn head off." It's like, okay, that was it's like all right, he's kind of mad. He's kind of mad. I'm gonna kick you in the balls. Whoa, dude, uncalled for. That is uncalled for, mister.
Ziggler went in and set up all his fucking wrestling gear from like college and shit. Like he was actually gonna wrestle with him. Then they go up, get close together, and wham!
And then he just walks off and he goes, Dolph Ziggler has been disqualified, but the loser is still Baron Corbin. I'm like, gold!
That was fucking... And you're sitting there like, in all fairness, Corbin fucking deserved it.
Yes, he kind of low blowed Ziggler in the match. So that's like the one match that could end in like seconds and nobody's mad.
I mean, that goes right back to when we had the fucking DX against whoever they had won the titles from. I can't remember. I think it was Big Show and fucking Chris Jericho at the time.
Yeah.
And the ref is coming over and checking Triple H. And Shawn gets behind the ref on all fours, and Triple H pushes the ref down for the disqualification.
And that's just them, and that's just their childlike antics.
They retained their titles and killed the rematch clause.
Exactly. It was fucking brilliant. And on that note, I got to move on to this next segment here, because it makes me very angry. And that's the only reason why I'm going to talk about it.
What doesn't make you very angry?
What?
What doesn't make you very angry?
The Divas naked.
Fair enough.
Thank you. How can I be angry after that? What would be? And
speaking of which, okay, you know how I said I went to hang out with some friends yesterday?
Yeah.
But one of those friends was a female, and I was sitting there hanging out in the living room, and I was outside when she got in the shower. Okay, so I was hanging. I went back in. I went back in. I was sitting on the couch in the living room, and she steps out of the bathroom, bare ass, fucking naked, freaks out, covers herself quickly, and runs to the side.
Awesome. But here's the thing so of course it's a pre-recorded video. It's from Facebook, where The Miz announced that he'll be appearing in Marine 5 Battlegrounds, and that he's going to be doing videos every week, that tomorrow is the first day of shooting, and he's holding on to the Intercontinental Championship. Now, first of all, I don't like the fact that the Marine series has now revolved around The Miz. When Cena was...
I liked how they did a different Marine every time.
Yeah.
We had John Cena. Then we had...
Ted DiBiase.
Ted DiBiase. And then we had The Miz.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are there two more with the fucking Miz?
I don't know, but I will say this. There's one thing I like about The Miz doing... The reason I don't complain much about The Miz doing these Marine movies is because when The Miz films a movie, he's not wrestling. So I don't care how many Marine movies he does. Keep him the fuck away from the ring.
Okay, but he's not wrestling and still has the fucking title. This is Brock Lesnar all over again.
That's where I was getting to. That's what I was getting to. The fact, and this is what, and now, obviously, this movie was scheduled in advance, so once again, if The Miz is going to film a movie, why does he still have the title, and why did he win the Fatal 4-Way at Extreme Rules? Congratulations, the thing did nothing. Once again, they made us... Now you got the Intercontinental Championship that's supposed to represent the in-ring workhorse, is sitting at home, is filming a movie with the title. If you knew he was going to do that, you should have let Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, or Cesaro win the championship. Then The Miz says, I don't need the title. I'm a movie star. And then he goes and films the Marine 5 and does his stupid Facebook videos, whatever. And when I come back from filming this movie, I will reclaim my Intercontinental Championship. Then when he comes back, he can have a rematch, lose that, and go back to doing Miz TV. There is no point in letting him keep the title if he's not going to defend it. Why does WWE think this is okay?
I think what they're doing right now is until the actual brand split happens, they need a way to focus on the United States Championship.
Okay. Then they damn well better put some focus on it.
Which is why Rusev is winning matches right now. He is the U.S. champion. He cut that promo. Now we have Titus O'Neil challenging for that title. They're putting the focus on it.
Yeah. I'm just saying, that was one episode. I need to see what happens next week before I can say that that's what they're doing.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can say. Until the brand split, they actually they're using this as an advantage.
Yeah. Because I'm just like, because it just really made no sense with that. But I'm looking at that. Hopefully that put the focus on the U.S. title.
That is the problem that we have had since the brand split ended. Is that one title will always fall in the background. Sometimes it's the Intercontinental title, sometimes it's the U.S. title, but one of them always falls in the background.
Yeah. And having one of them on both shows is great, but they still got to make sure that person is either A, defending the belt in the ring, or B, getting ample TV time. They got to put emphasis on those belts on each show.
And that's what the Miz is doing with these Facebook videos. He's still pointing out. He's like, he's not just talking about himself. He's saying, and as long as I still got this, and every day that I've got this title, I have successfully defended it. And he's sitting there, he's playing the heel part very well while being away. I know you don't like to admit it when the Miz does something good, but he is still making it to where nobody's forgetting about the Intercontinental Championship.
Well, the problem is I don't see anything he does as good. That's why I have you here to point that stuff out to me. It's why I need you in times like this to put it in perspective, because he just makes me so angry.
He's like, I'm not the Miz's biggest fan, but I'm not as hell-bent against him as you are.
Yes, exactly. So you can be my voice of reason in these scenarios. Well, anyway, and then of course, after that, there's everybody's doing their whole strategy talks, which I thought was great. Although I did learn this from the strategy talks, was that apparently the Lunatic Fringe is an enthusiastic racist. If you guys caught that.
What?
Dean Ambrose. He hates Canadians.
Oh, yeah.
And Sami Zayn's just sitting there going, what? he's like,
yeah.
You
realize I'm Canadian, right?
And then they go, that explains so much. And they just walk away.
And Sami Zayn's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
What's going on?
He's like, what is it? What are you doing? And the cool thing is, Dean is like, that makes perfect sense. And Cesaro's like, yeah. And they both walk away. That's what made it funnier. And Sami's like, what do you mean Canadian? What are you talking about?
What do you mean that makes sense?
What do Canadians do? That was so great, because they're like talking all these bad things, and then he talks about Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho. He's like, yeah, we got to be careful. They're Canadian. And Sami's like, wait, what?
No, that's not what he said. He said he was talking about one of them specifically. It says at least he's not Canadian, and that's when Sami said, "Wait, I'm Canadian."
And then of course after that, Owens, Del Rio, and Jericho are having their own little argument, and it's kind of funny because Jericho's like, look. Del Rio, I know we don't like each other. Kevin, I know you and we don't get along. Kevin's like, what are you talking about? I thought we were friends.
Wait, we had a good thing going. I called you a goat. You called me a donkey. I mean,
It's like, what do you mean we don't get along? Like, what do you mean we don't like each other?
I thought we had a thing.
And to me, that's what made it funny, because Kevin Owens is the one that goes around saying, fuck all y'all, and now all of a sudden his feelings are hurt when Jericho says we don't like each other.
Yeah, I mean, it was like Jericho said, Jericho looks like, I don't like you to Kevin Owens. Then he looks at Alberto and says, I haven't liked your family for decades.
Because they're paying reference to the fact that Jericho wrestled the majority of his career in Mexico before going to ECW, WCW, and later the WWE.
So yeah, it's great. It's fucking hilarious. But yeah, all in all, it was a good segment. It was funny. You got to see another slight different side of Owens. You know, where he can be a little goofy at times.
Yeah.
Which is something he has been lacking, because I mean, as much as I love him, he's got to be able to show more diversity, and that right there did it.
Yeah. And the thing is, there's nothing wrong with and I've always said this before, there's nothing wrong with every now and then putting in a little bit of comedy and having a sense of humor is not a bad thing. It's when it's overplayed that it's the problem.
Yeah, look, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Nobody thinks of themselves as the bad guy. Everyone thinks they are doing the right thing.
Exactly.
You know, and people were like, well, what about guys like Hitler? Hitler thought he was doing what was best for his country at the time.
Yeah. It's like he didn't thought he was a bad guy. We all decided it was us who decided he was fucked in the head.
Yeah. I was like, he was horribly misguided and a full-on fucking asshole. But nobody truly thinks of themselves as the bad guy.
Nobody.
I'm reading a book series right now, the Aragon book series, and there's a line in it at one point where Aragon, that's obviously he's the main character, he has to learn about the Urgles. You remember the Urgles, the big giant monster things from the movie, if you ever saw the movie. But anyway, they're all these big beastly monsters, and Aragon's like, they're evil, they kill for fun and sport. It's like, really? How do you? All you ever seen are what they do in acts of war. Like, you ever think about what they do when they're with their families?
Damn.
And it's like, now, it's like, yes, there are certain peoples and certain groups who are more geared towards war. They enjoy war, or they use it to determine who their leaders are and such. But that doesn't mean that they are purposely wanting to cause pain to everybody. Nobody thinks of themselves as evil. And Kevin Owens, he's shown that a lot in his stuff. It's like his promos, he's always being the heel, but he's like, I'm doing this for the benefit of my family. I'm doing this for the benefit of this. He never thinks of himself as evil. Never.
And he always tries to flip it around where he's the victim somehow.
Exactly. And he does a good job of it.
Yeah. He does such a good job of it, it actually annoys me.
It makes you want to hate him, which just shows how great of a heel he is.
Yeah. It's very true. I can't deny that. And then, of course, after all this, they were talking about the six-man tag, and that's what we got. Dean Ambrose, Cesaro, and Sami Zayn against Del Rio, Kevin Owens, and Chris Jericho.
Am I the only one upset that this was the main event?
What did you want to be the main event?
Anything besides a randomly thrown together six-man tag match.
Well, technically they are in the Money in the Bank ladder match, so it's not that random.
No, I mean, you got to look at it this way. We've got three rivalries just thrown together. And I mean, that's what I'm looking at. It's like, yeah, I understand. I can see where you're coming from with it being in the fucking son of a bitch, Money in the Bank. That's what I was going for. I swear to dog, I'm not. I swear to. I swear to dog, I'm not as thick as you stoned I am, Austin.
That's okay. Other people fuck up at their jobs.
Speaking of Ossifers.
And
you're sitting there, it's like, you're sitting there staring out the window at school. The teacher says, nobody's going to pay you to sit and stare out a window, officer.
I know. I wonder if you just said to me, you're not going to always have a calculator on you. Whipped out my iPhone. And apparently with the money in the bank, there seems to be one participant missing. But I don't know. I thought there was supposed to be a qualifying match on Raw. So are we even going to have a qualifying match, or is it just going to be these 6 guys?
It's probably just going to be these 6 guys. And I know that sucks, but that's the way it's looking.
Yeah.
I really... I don't even know who they would throw in at this point, unless they have a surprise appearance.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be, I don't know, because it's like, because we're now seeing that Styles and Jericho are having a feud, and Titus O'Neil and Rusev are about to get into one, and the Divas don't compete in the ladder matches. None of the tag teams are going to do that. So unless they're going to take one member of the New Day and put them in the Money in the Bank, like maybe, like it might be like maybe Xavier, maybe it might be something different where like Xavier Woods and Big E defend the tag belts and they put Kofi in the ladder match just to make it interesting.
I guess. I don't know. I just... This year's Money in the Bank, I swear to God, if Jericho or any of the faces really win this belt, win this briefcase, I'm not going to be happy.
Okay.
We're sitting at a point right now. It's just not going to be fun to watch.
I just don't want to see Del Rio. Del Rio's already been a Money in the Bank winner, so I don't want him to win it.
And that leaves Kevin Owens.
Yeah, like you said before, this does sound tailor-made for him. Especially if they're looking to push him for a main event spot down the road.
He definitely deserves a main event spot. He works his ass off.
Mm-hmm. Although I will say this: if the plan is to put the belt back on Seth Rollins, then I'd like to see. Then I wouldn't mind Dean Ambrose winning the briefcase just to stick it to Seth, the way he stuck it to the Shield. But that's only if Seth is going to win. If Roman's going to retain, then I probably wouldn't want Dean to cash in on him.
And the cool thing about this briefcase is to be the last one before the brand split, so we could see someone cash this when they create a secondary title, which is pretty clear that they're probably going to do.
Yes, it seems that way.
We have one for each show. Then we're gonna see this jump here, which is gonna be nice.
Yeah, it definitely would be. And it would definitely be useful, like along with the Royal Rumble, to make people jump to another show. I mean, like I said, if they split the titles and do it right, then I'll be okay. But like I said, I'm right now, I'm not optimistic about that. So I'm going to have to see something amazing.
These last few months have been pretty damn good for WWE.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see. So I could see this doing awesome.
Yeah. Overall, it's been good for WWE. I mean, obviously, we've seen occasional things that we particularly haven't enjoyed, but overall, we're getting what we want. And that's something I think fans need to be aware of. Because we're seeing all these amazing matches and all these great moments, but there are fans still bitching and complaining about this and that and whatever. And it's like, look, you can't get everything. Not everything is 1,000% going to change. And I think...
But they're sure as hell making it better.
Yeah. Like, people are complaining about, like, we're still getting opening promos on Raw. Yeah, that's always going to happen. That's how they open the show. If you're expecting to open the show with a match, that's not going to freaking happen.
I mean, it has happened before, but usually because they're going to have a major promo after with the winner of the match.
Yeah. Like, there's going to be a talking segment that opens the show some way. That's the way it's going to happen. At least they're not 20-minute dragged out ones from the Authority. It's Shane and Stephanie who together have been entertaining as hell.
And then, you know, you'll have sometimes where you open the show with a top superstar. You know, someone who just returned or someone who's about to go for a championship.
Yeah. And the segments aren't as long as they used to be. Like the one we did earlier was about 10 minutes, but that's because the New Day was there. Stephanie and Shane kind of keep it short and sweet when they're out there.
Absolutely. But people are going to complain. I mean, you give an inch, they want a mile. That's just the way it's going to be.
Yeah. It's like they're going to complain until it's exactly the way the way they pictured it in their heads.
It's like in the very first episode of it was like in one of the episodes of Supernatural, Sam said, "When I got B's, they should have been A's. When I got A's, they better stay that way." It was never good enough.
Yeah. It's borderline insanity. Oh, by the way, before we wrap up, I found this quick article here. As we all know, when AJ Styles turned heel, he actually posted a tweet this morning about it, and this is what he said. He said, did hashtag the club make you mad last night on Raw? Good. That is directly from AJ Styles' Twitter account.
It said what?
It said, did the club make you mad last night on Raw? Good.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, he can play the heel. We already know AJ can play the heel. So, we'll see how it works out.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm just saying that I just like the fact that Styles is embracing, you know, the heel role, and he plays it very well. And there's a lot of people on the internet that are complaining about it's like they turn Styles heel and they act like we're gonna boo him over Cena. And I was like, and my response was, if Styles is as phenomenal as everyone says he is, he'll find a way to make you do it.
Dude. All right. That's great and all, but listen to what I just read on Facebook. All right, I'm reading this here. I'm reading this and I'm laughing now. It says, so I'm in Walmart, and this little girl who looks like she's about 3 years old was sitting in a basket. She was looking at me like I stole her tooth fairy money. So me being the adult I just smiled and waved at the child. And her little bald-headed ass gonna roll her eyes at me. So me, being who I am, because the 3-year-old's not gonna play with me, I asked Mom if I could give her some candy. Mom said, yeah. So I told the little girl to put it in her pocket for later. She smiled and did. I smiled and walked right over to the manager and told the manager that she was stealing M&Ms. The manager said, "Thank you. I'm so sick of parents who are not controlling their kids." The manager walks over to the mom and asks her to empty her pockets. And then I shoot the little girl a bird and kindly walk out of the store.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, I love that. That is awesome.
That is how you deal with a fucking bad kid right there.
That's a brat and a half. Oh, I love it. And you know what? That's so awesome. We're going to stop right there, folks. This, ladies and gentlemen, will wrap up this episode of the BOOCHCAST for today. I want to thank everybody so much for tuning in live. I want to thank everybody listening in the archives. We'll be back tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. West Coast time. Another fun-filled, action-packed episode of the BOOCHCAST. That is, of course, assuming that I do not have jury duty tomorrow. So if I have jury duty, there will be no show. If I don't have jury duty, then I'll be back here with the BOOCHCAST. I have an interview with Derek Shapiro and James Buddy Love Herring regarding the movie Walking, which will be available tomorrow on movieinternetchannel.yellowsite.com, as well as the Movie Internet Channel YouTube channel. You can check it out. And of course, you can check out, we'll be doing a recap of TNA Impact Wrestling here on the BOOCHCAST. So until next time, this is Vinny Bucci, a.k.a. The Booch, saying keep on living life and take care. This has been the BOOCHCAST. We'll hopefully talk to you tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel Booch316 so you can stay up to date on the BOOCHCAST. Check out all my videos, and we'll hopefully see you guys tomorrow. If we don't see you tomorrow, we'll see you Thursday.